They love it when I turn up the bass. They love it when I turn up the bass. They love it when I turn up the bass.
All right, there we go. What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody? We are live. We got Rick back in the room, man. We ain't seen Rick. Why you sitting up in your Nino Brown black, man?
We all we got. We all we need. CMB.
Put your $5 sub down before we make it.
Before we make change, man. All right, man.
Where the rock wall at?
Hey, Hoops, where you at?
All right, let's go ahead and do it the right way. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel. On my right, we got Quan.
Everybody.
And right under me, obviously, we got Rick.
Rick the Great.
And tonight we're going to have a special guest panelist who's going to come in and join us today. He can't stay long, but it's all good. We're going to try to keep him as long as we can, and he's going to rock with us tonight. So I'll bring him into the stream. So here we go. Mr. Meet Me on the 50 himself, my chapter brother. What's going on, Eddie? How you doing, bro?
Hey, how y'all doing, fellas?
Man, so definitely it is definitely a great feeling to have us all again, here together. I haven't talked to Miss Boo Boo Kitty, but I'm gonna hit her up and see what's going on. All right, man, let's go ahead and kick this off the right way, man, like we always do. Anything that you guys saw this past week, or anything that happened this past week that was, something that you want to talk about, or something that you want to bring up, something that's going on in the music community of the band world. Anybody? Matter of fact, I'll go first with you, Quan. Go ahead.
I mean, I saw the Mardi Gras clips. I mean, I saw the Mardi Gras clips. Some good, some bad. I saw the battle with Alcorn and Langston. Well, we're pretty sure we'll talk about that during the show. But I mean, hey, I'm blessed God that my city was able to have Mardi Gras after a year of COVID and whatnot, and it seemed like people was enjoying themselves. But I'm glad.
You better not say, "Oh, you messed up." You better not say nobody was bad, bro. You don't want to get cussed out.
I don't give two shits about that. I mean, but
tell the truth.
Nah, I mean, I saw some good and I saw some bad, But I understand the culture, I understand what it is. I mean, I saw Bloody Sunday as well. I mean, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just thankful that people was able to enjoy themselves. People was able to, enjoy the culture, enjoy the festivities, so far and so on. So that's what I looked at this weekend.
Yeah, parade season, bro.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Rick, anything?
I saw a number of things this weekend, man. First, I saw the clips that Quan's speaking of as well. There's some great things happening, man. It's good to see the culture is in full effect. You had posted about Southern posting the one ensemble clips. I think that's really great. And for them to actually be featuring that, I know PV did the same thing. They posted a clip of them and what they're doing in the spring with the one ensemble jazz band and stuff. So I thought that was great. Watched this week's episode of March, and the show is just really good, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I know they had to come up with a storyline and all that, but the show is just good, man. I really enjoy it. So that show was interesting to watch. Did I hear any other? Some good one ensemble concerts, man. People are putting up videos. UT put up another great video. I know their symphony band also performed. So, man, it's just nothing but, good things happening all around us, man. I would agree with Quan. There were some not so pleasing sounds this weekend. I'm sure we'll talk about them, but, I thought there were some surprises as well, man. I thought, I think what's happening at Texas Southern is moving in the right direction. I think those brothers are going to need, a couple of years to really get that thing where they want it. But it was, it was good to see them there. And, it looked like they were one of the biggest bands there, to be honest. So kudos to Brian Simmons and Javon, all those brothers at Texas Southern. So, yeah, man, it ain't all, bad for me, man. I'm going to be honest, but, hopefully we can be honest and talk about what we heard. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Prairie View's getting a fair shake, though. I don't hear a lot of chatter about this show, and they should be getting a lot more publicity, man.
Well, we already know why that is, bro. Anything that's got Prairie View written on it, people don't want to hear.
The show was excellent, like you said, Rick. So I don't get it. That might be a good topic right there, matter of fact, because they ain't getting enough shine at all.
Right.
I personally feel like that Prairie View is low key like the bastard child of the SWAC. I don't know why.
No, I used to call it when I was working there, Quan. I called us the redhead stepchild, right? That one that's always the last to eat, the last to get everything. You know, even though they can be one of your best looking kids,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they get treated, you know, in a different way, and I think that's bull. But you know, I'm anxious to see what our topics are, so I'll just leave it there for now. But Eddie, I think your opinion is valid, bro.
No, I think Langston is almost like the adopted SWAT kid at this point, man. They getting more love than PV at this point.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna put my daughter to sleep. 2 minutes, y'all. Be right back.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but I will say this, man, especially from this past week, and I'm gonna say this, and I know we talked about this on the show quite often, but real talk, the whole New Orleans, like that whole vibe, I get it now. Like I really get it. Like I know we've done a lot of, you know, like really talking about quality of sound and things of that nature, which is definitely important. But when I'm looking at this, man, and understand where I'm coming from, I'm not coming from the university perspective. I'm coming from the high schools that are, you know, in and around the area, the surrounding areas. You can tell, like, when they're really engulfed in what they're doing, it's really, really cultural. It's really just about, you know, embracing that culture, man. And it's actually, when I look at it from that lens, it's actually really fun to see. And it's almost really like I guess you want to say, and I don't know if this is the best word to use, but almost like a euphoric experience, because you're really seeing kids and students who are just truly gravitated to that culture and to that whole feel, man. And
But
so
I think that's what Justin always talks about, right? Is that some things this is what I get the most from what Justin always speaks on. Some things have to be about things other than, you know, what we consider to be good band, right? Like to me, that's a cultural thing that it's a cycle, right? Like those kids, man, look like they were having the time of their life.
absolutely,
They got to see their bands that they love. You got to be in the same parade with the band that you love. And man, it's there. I'm gonna just put it out there. Look at the size of those bands, man. Like one of the biggest groups I saw was a high school band coming down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like Talladega, this is the smallest I've ever seen Talladega.
But the cleanest
then-
we've seen them too, though, Rick. I don't know. What you think about their performance this year? You don't think they're the cleanest they sounded in a while?
I do. I want to look at it from two perspectives, right, bro? The battle against Jackson is the best I've ever seen Talladega ever. But now there's another war. Bring the bonds back. You know, I don't know what's going on with that whole situation, but there were people complaining that this band that they took to the Mardi Gras parade, you know, bring you know, that whole situation with Bonds, bring Bonds back, Mount Bonds back. Like, here we go again, arguing about things that don't matter.
It's the purists, man. Just like when Hamer left or when Simmons left, you know, people are gonna be loyal to certain band directors, man. That's just crazy. But
I thought that it was good to see Langston there. I think to be in that league, though, they still got a little work to do. But I know Gordon. I know him personally. He's a good dude, man, and I know he's gonna get the good people around him. But you know, it was good to see their energy, man. But you know, I thought, to me, out of all the college bands that were there, you know, I would probably have to, if you have to crown like a, you know, cleanest band, I would probably go with. I mean, I don't know, man. That's difficult for me. I like some things that were happening with Texas Southern, and I like some things that I heard with Southern. It was just weird though, because some of the clips were different, so I was getting like different sounds and stuff depending on what clip you watch. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, fam. I really like. I saw one clip of Stillman marching down the street. You know, I always try to, because I know how it feels to build a band from scratch, even at the high school level. And I know, you know, at one point Stillman was on the up and up, and then it seemed like they got like real quiet. I think they had some band directors transition
Yeah,
from there.
they had some band director changes.
Yeah, so and then now I know they've announced the new director of bands, and I think honestly what he's doing thus far in this time frame, from what I've seen, they're doing really good. The one clip that I did see, the marching down the street, they didn't sound bad at all.
And talking to the cats, Mr. Robert Baxter, man, he actually has the full support of the administration, which has never been the case, man, for any of the previous, from PJ all the way to what's his name? I can't pronounce his last name. Starts with an E. Y'all know who replaced PJ, man. Eichelberger or something like that. Anyway, yeah, he didn't get the support either, man. So Baxter seems to be getting it.
Well, it's good that he actually has that support, man. I mean, in this business, man, having that support of the administration means a world of difference, man. When you got that support, man, that changes everything.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's do it the right way. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where you have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Man, please go ahead and smash that like daddy as soon as you walk in the door. Go ahead and smash that like daddy. I told you who's gonna use it, bro. All right. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the network and turn on notifications. You can also listen to us on all of your podcasts and networks. Just type in Real Talk That Talk. All right, let's go ahead and get to the first topic. This kind of stems, like I always do. I'm always editing the videos, and I was looking back at some old videos that some old shows that we were doing while I was making some clips, and it really started to make me think, man. And so we're going a little bit cancel culturist this time. So let's talk about it, man. So here's the first topic. Do we lose our creativity as a culture by only existing in echo chambers? Do we lose our creativity as a culture by only existing in echo chambers? All right. Quan, let's start you off since you're on my right side, bro.
For me, do we lose our creativity about no, I don't think we lose our creativity. I think as African Americans, like we are one of the most creative, beings on this planet. So we don't lose creativity, but I think we really don't appreciate that specific trend or culture or, whatever that is being presented until maybe that person dies. And I think that happens a lot in our culture, unfortunately. Prime example, like look at some of our rappers, right? Like Nipsey Hussle. People was all on him after he passed. You know what I'm saying? But like the type of love he should have received while he was breathing, he didn't. That's just one example of the few. Like we talk about, zero quarter, fifth quarter, and rap daddies and whatnot. Like a lot of the if the popular people are doing it at that moment, it's cool. But if one person decides, man, I'm gonna be different, I'm gonna do something a little different, like they're hated at first until years later, then it's accepted. So I don't think it stops the creativity, but whatever that trend is, prime example, I'm pretty sure people dislike, the way NCAT was doing their shows initially because it was different. It was quote unquote more DCI style, so to speak. It wasn't your traditional 8 to 5. But now people accept it, people love it, people embrace it. But they had to go through some years of transitioning for that to be accepted by the culture. And I think that's the travesty. Is like we're creative because it's going to be one person that pushes the envelope, but they have to be hated first, then accepted later.
All right. Dope. Let me do this first.
What's good, man?
There we go. All right. Boom.
Boo Boo Kitty.
We got half the family back. Look at that. Look at that.
All right. How you doing?
All right. Ma, you good? You straight?
We hear you.
Wait, now I can't hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Y'all can hear me? I can hear
Yeah.
y'all.
Get your mic straight. Now you're muted.
We hear you.
As soon as you pulled me in, like I couldn't hear nothing no more.
So you want me to pull you out? Pause.
listen.
She ain't catch it. All right. Well, let's keep going on the topic until we get Maya straight. Rick, do we lose our creativity as a culture by only existing in echo chambers?
I don't think it's because we only exist in echo chambers. I think that certain things are more popular than others. I think that when Robert Champion passed, we lost one of the biggest pillars of the band community with fam. And I think that we went into our corners about what we like. Like there's always been people that think that fam is whatever or Bethune Cookman is whatever, whether that's, amazing. I think they play with great sounds. Some people think they're boring. Some people think they're whatever. But the fact of the matter that you could not say that they weren't a good band. They did what they did authentically. Norfolk State was not a pillar organization in the band community. Most people hadn't heard of Norfolk State before, so we couldn't say, okay, Norfolk is going to always be authentically Norfolk. They ain't trying to be nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And that was one thing I loved about going there. And a lot of bands in the MEAC were that way. You could look around the MEAC and you could see all different styles and everything. And you may have had your favorite bands or whatever, but we all appreciated the fact that good band is good band. I think now, and I don't want to sound like that old head that's hating because I think there's a lot of good things that's happening now. Like I said, for me, Song of the Year was that FAMU Young and the Restless. Like there are good sounds happening in band. But I think that we get put into our corners because when you don't agree with the biggest group of people in the band head community, not the band community, the band head community, the people that are the loudest on social media and stuff like that, you're instantly put into a box where, oh, you are Uncle Tom or you don't care about the culture or whatever. And it's just simply not the case. And then it's funny because some of our goats and our old heads like Mr. Adams, Dr. Sanford, all these great band directors that were generally, in the last generation, they have the same type of feedback. Dr. Sanford came on the show and said, I want to hear good sounds. I want to hear bands that play, with control and all that stuff. But when we say it as younger people, it creates this division. I have never on our show said anything about I hate any band. I don't hate no band. I love black people. I want to see black people succeed. But I think that at the end of the day, if you love something, I've said this on the show before, if you love something, you ought to want better for it. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's the echo chambers that ruin the culture. I think it's our closed-mindedness to accepting something other than what we identify as being what we like. I can listen to my favorite orchestra is the Chicago Symphony. I just think the CSO is incredible. But I can listen to any other orchestra that's good. I'm also able to, I have an ear. So if I identify something I don't like, I should be able to say, I don't necessarily agree with that stylistic choice or whatever. And I don't know if we have that space now in the HBCU band head community. So I would just say, I don't think it diminishes our culture. I think right now, HBCU culture is experiencing some of the most recognition and success we've ever had. There's a national television show featuring the HBCU band. We had a movie, 20 years ago featuring HBCU bands. There's been previous TV shows. So I think HBCU band culture is fine. I just think that there has to be room for difference. There has to be room for, a different approach or a different mindset when it comes to what HBCU band culture is. So, no, I don't think it diminishes the culture. I think other factors play into that, and partially it's just because we want everybody to be the same.
All right, Eddie, do we lose creativity as a culture by only existing in echo chambers?
I look at it from this point of view. So technology, as far as YouTube and all these other sites, is fairly new. They've been around. When did YouTube came out? About 2006, something like that. So I think we look at it from the standpoint of us being fans of the culture, part of the culture for well beyond that. I started watching I seen my first band show in '95. I was hooked from that point on, and so I think that we may be in a rush to change things. I don't know. I don't want to say abruptly, but I think we have to let the world know, people who are outside the band head community, see what it is that show style bands bring before we're in such a tussle to change. I mean, I agree with Rick because there has to be room to grow. I get that. I agree with that point. But at the same time, if we have no cohesion as a culture, so to speak, from the grand scale, I mean, people looking at us from outside the band head community, they gonna be like, they look crazy, they look wild. So I think once we do have that stronghold and we have more of these march kind of shows and drum lines and we become more of a household name across I'm talking about globally, then I think there's a lot more room for growth. That's the way I look at it anyway. I think we have to be one, and it's hard to say be one unified front because there's so many styles of band and different ways you can you can approach that, but there has to be some kind of way to bring it together first, in my opinion.
That's definitely a really interesting thought. Let's kind of dive into that because, like, just kind of if I think about like when you look at pre-Robert Champion, right? There was the SWAC side of doing things, I guess, and the MEAC side of doing things, and it was widely accepted on both sides.
But I even disagree with that, Julian. Like when you think about pillars pre-Robert Champion, I'll just name some. Tennessee State is not in a conference that would be considered an HBCU conference, but they've always been a band that people know. You know what I'm saying? So I would think bands like Tennessee State, Florida A&M, Virginia State, people have been talking about horsepower for years. Like people knew what they were bringing to the table. Like I said, Norfolk wasn't in that conversation. Southern, Jackson, there was like a group of like 5 to 6 bands that were like the pillar organization. That's what I model my band to either sound like or look like, bro. And then like it seems like pre-Robert Champion, all of that went away, and it was just
post-Robert Champion.
Or post-Robert Champion. It was
that was the point that I was getting to, was the fact that what does it look like to bring the differences together now versus what it was pre-Robert Champion, because there were noticeable differences that everybody accepted. There were people who were, Southern fans who still had, love for fam or could outwardly express that they had love for fam, or there were people who were Jackson fans who could outwardly express they had love for, this other group or whatever. But it seems as though, it's like you either do it this way or it's just like not as widely accepted, if that makes sense.
I go ahead and say it. I say it like this, y'all, man. Hey, look, I'm about to catch hell for it. I don't even care, man. But aside from those pillar bands that you name, meaning the Norfolks, the FAMs, the Tennessee States, the Southerns, FAMU was a lot of band standard. They were, man. So when you look at it, when they took their hiatus and they were gone, it's like displacing some kids, man. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So you got to look at it from, okay, we got, how long were they out the game? Like 4 or 5 years, 4 years, something like 5 years?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. That's 3 or 4 years of just, now who's next? So bands are going to follow something because everybody can't be a pioneer. And that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Every band director don't have that Isaac Greggs or that William Foster, I'm drawing a blank, but you know what I'm saying? They don't have that gusto to bring something new to the table. So you got 4 years of bands looking for a new standard. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think that directly affected what we've been talking about over these last couple months since running this show. It's like people for some reason. I think it's crazy to me, Eddie, but some people think I hate Southern. I've never said that on the show, but apparently that's what I guess that's. I'm sure we'll get into. Even some of the disagreements you may have had with me, right? But my thing is this: I have never said that on this show. And I'll go on record right now. I've always been a Southern fan since I first heard Southern. We used to go to Mario room. I said this on the show. And Mario would show us those tapes. And I'm like, man, that's killing. But I could also, even at that time of loving Southern, identify, okay, there's some things happening there that, me personally, my own personal stylistic choices, I wouldn't agree with. But I can still say, like I said on the show, man, I Remember, I love Holy Grail, all these songs that they've played over the years that I really like. But the fact of the matter is nobody can do Southern but Southern. And I think that's where we
I
fall
agree.
into so many issues, man, is because everybody is trying to be Southern. Ain't nobody gonna ever outdo them at what they do. They are the kings of, like they say, kings of what they do. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if you constantly chasing them, then you ain't gonna never be successful.
But
So what
I,
I'm saying is do something well that's you, that's authentically you at these other bands, but that doesn't affect what good musicality is. That's what I've always said. Go ahead, Quan. I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm sorry.
no, y'all good, fam. Because it's great that y'all saying it. But what I realized, and like I say, I'm the youngest out of all y'all, and I think two things that has altered the perception and perspective of band pre and post Robert Champion. So pre Robert Champion, we can mention, and I do agree with Julian when we say it was a MEAC way. If you were in the South, it was a MEAC way and it was a swag way. If you were from the South, that's the perception.
Yeah, you got to remember that's where I'm from. So that's
the way.
And you know what? Ironically, A&T was like the adopted SWAC band back then. If you remember,
Absolutely.
They was
Yeah,
right, because they played culture. They did all that, right? So when you look at pre Robert Champion, like it's kind of like it was like, yeah, we was kin, we was cousins, but that's the East Coast cousins. You know what I'm saying? Because they certain drum lines, for example, like A&T, they had Hornets initially. Like we was like, you know what I'm saying? Fam, you still had that old school traditional style, and so because they were like you stated, the pillar band, and that sound, that timbre from the woodwinds and whatnot, all the way up to when Mr. Julian White transitioned out of that position, like that was their thing. But when you wanted raw in your face, any song that came on the radio, it seemed like the song came on the radio Sunday, but then Saturday at the game, Southern was playing it. So we also experienced that too. Post Robin Champion, the difference is social media, and then the intent and the methodicalness of Southern's video team made you be like, I'm a Southern fan. And then we're also dealing with the generation of people now where it's like you had to go to a game to actually experience stuff. Now, every week you're looking at it where you have people that feel that they're Southern Knights and they never been. So,
but it's great. But we can't fault them because Garrett is the GOAT. Like, oh yeah,
no,
right.
No, we can't. But I think the biggest difference is you have quote unquote allegiances for people that you don't even know.
You don't even know. Right.
It's like you just a meat rider, bro. Like you just put it out there. Like that's what you is. That's one. But then number two, if you really look at it, and from my perspective, post Robert Champion, because they were in your face all the time, that was the new standard. So then this younger generation, they deal with trends. Like I look at Real Talk from the drum game, I can go by as a percussionist, the way people's drum sections form, the way they hit the drum is just like Jackson State. If you go through the South for the most part, outside of Southern, even my own alma mater, Prairie View, the drum section is just like the bass drum sections. I can look at it, but it's because they see it all the time. They see it. Social media has altered, I guess, quote unquote, the what was the word you used, Rick? I'm gonna say allegiance, but your taste for a specific band. Southern drops 3-4 clips every other week in season.
But once again, we're talking about the greatness of Garrett, right? I gotta acknowledge that, brother. That man has completely changed HBCU band culture single-handedly with that whole video thing that he's doing. Like when you talk about their presence online, it wasn't by accident. Like people, when that stuff's being pumped at you all the time, it's high quality. They got the drone going up in the sky, getting the band. They got everything. Like that's appealing, man. It's like MKBHD. He's like the guy when it comes to tech reviews on YouTube. That man went from being a kid in his bedroom to making millions of dollars doing tech reviews. Because he, went the extra mile. So I think if we're talking specifically, Quan, about that, then to me, that's a blueprint for these other bands. But I don't think that's it, bro. I really don't. Like, yes, Garrett. I think his last name's Edgerton.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT when it comes to this whole video thing. But I don't think that's it. I think people genuinely have a love for that band that is regardless of what they do, man. Like they can literally go out there and blow Bear Had a Little Lamb, and people gonna tell you how sweet it is. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
That's us as a society, man. You turn the radio on, if they play the same 10 songs all day, every day, like they do, that top 10 countdown, you're gonna start thinking, damn, that number one song must really be the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we're fed, not a shot at any band, but I'm saying if we are, consistency is king, bro. Content and consistency is king. If you constantly bringing, like y'all drop videos consistently, man, so y'all have greatness obviously coming. It's like when you do that, man, you know, you're gonna get fans, you're gonna get supporters because we're creatures of habit. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're kind of shorthand in Southern in a sense where they were one of the first bands to take branding seriously. You know, not you know, we think about musicianship when we think bands, but band is business, you know, and I think they were one of the first ones to, you know, really be on that train or whatever, man, from Bayou Classic. I mean, you look at Grambling and Southern, they would have the same spins. They were on NBC every year for Turkey Day. You know, one band seems to be on the up and up, one is kind of, you know, they hit or miss, man. So that tells you something's going on, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, I don't disagree with what you said because I think we've had a conversation about that before. You know, the consistency of Southern, regardless of whatever you can say about them, they have been consistent. And like you're absolutely right, the consistency actually brings people in. I mean, don't get me wrong. I coming from the South, like I never wanted to go to Southern, but I know I watched them all the time. It was either Southern or Jackson. I didn't even know about Norfolk until my junior year in high school. You know, and even when I heard about Norfolk, when Miss Sanders came through and brought the video, you know, I was still watching Southern and Jackson until she came back again because I couldn't find no other Norfolk video. Back in the day when the fifth quarter was hot, go to the fifth quarter and mostly, you know, all you was gonna see is maybe a Jackson video, a Southern video, maybe a Texas Southern video every now and then. I wasn't seeing PV like that on fifth quarter like that.
Southern was selling DVDs, bro, like in the early 2000s, and had their videos selling on DVD. That was my Christmas present when I was in high school by my mama. You know, they were serious about branding.
Yeah. You don't meet too many Norfolk cats who hate on Southern, man. Y'all seem to you hear a lot of hate from other bands, but you don't really hear many Norfolk cats. So it's that's something interesting. I just thought about that.
Well, I mean, I think that comes from the standpoint of the fact that we can appreciate that they're authentically them, right? Like we're not trying to be them. And to be honest, when we were in the band, bro, we wanted to go against them because we thought we were the best band in the country. So I think it's like a mutual respect thing, right? Like going against GOAT. I mean, I hate to say it, it's a lot of good bands in the MEAC. But right now, Norfolk, man, you know, they're on another level. I think it is, bro. I think it's a lot of good bands that, you know.
I think the CIAA got some they might be on the up and up, bro. But yeah, we got some work to do in the MEAC, bro.
I agree.
We don't even know if the MEAC gonna be around for much longer.
Exactly. That's why I don't know if I'm there with you, Rick, on that one, bro. But yeah, absolutely.
I thought about going down to Norfolk to help them set up a battle of the bands next week for the tournament, but I'm thinking, who gonna be at the damn tournament? I mean, who would show up, man? So Norfolk would, Morgan would, Central probably, and South Carolina State. Like, I don't know, who else do we have that would participate? Dale State.
Is Savannah State still in the meeting?
Savannah's in the CIAA, ain't they?
I thought they left. Yeah, I think they left. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Savannah's in the CIAA now.
We got some work to do, man.
Yeah, we struggling. We struggling out there.
As long as y'all don't leave, man. Look, Norfolk got. Look, I know. Look, I keep hearing y'all want to leave too, man. Stay put, man.
Hey, look,
Norfolk leave. It's tight.
It's tight.
It's tight.
Completely done. It is over.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's keep it rolling, man. If you're just tuning in, man, welcome everybody to Talk That. Golly, I messed that up. Jesus, my bad. I don't know how I did that. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. As soon as you come in, go ahead and smash that like, daddy. All right, get these likes up. We want the likes to match the number of views. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can come over to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and that notification button. Also, you can check us out on all your podcasting networks at Real Talk That Talk. All right, let's move it on to the next topic. And then Maya will be able to get in on this one. She might curse today because I ain't heard her curse in a couple of weeks.
You on the SMB7, bro? You know, I got to ask my technical questions right quick. What mic you on?
Who, me?
Nah, Julian.
That's
Was
me.
that you that said me? I ain't see your mouth move. Your mouth didn't move. I thought that was Rick that said that. My bad. Yeah, what you want?
Nah, man, I'm a real talk. I got an audio box from Amazon.
That thing sound good, whatever it is.
Man, I know how to, I went to school for media.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I did media at Norfolk.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I know how to mess with my levels really good.
Mhm.
All right, here we go.
No, he just turned us all the way down, turned himself all the way up.
I can't. No,
We
'cause
sound
I
like
can't
shit.
adjust y'all.
Because I got the SMB7 right here.
Oh, that's wild. That's like a
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I can't adjust y'all on this.
You got to hook Rick up, man. He got an SMB7. That thing should be kicking.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what he's
Mm-hmm.
using though, so I would have to see what kind of box that you got going on. But anyway, all right, let's keep rolling. This is something this is not necessarily generally for the music band world, but this is definitely a very great question that we can tie in. Why do we cancel each other because we don't agree? Why do we cancel each other because we don't agree? Who started first? Quan. All right, so Rick, why do we cancel each other because we don't agree?
I would actually, you know what? I would like to actually let Eddie go first, man, because I'm interested in hear what your opinion is, bro. Because I would love for you to. I know there's been some disagreements you've had with me, man. So like what's
Not
your
even
take,
you.
bro?
Nah, not even you. I think the one experience I had wasn't even about music. It was just a general statement you made. I think it was something to do with all. Let me think back.
The mass band joint.
Mass band. What we talked about? Okay, so I think you had made a statement about if you're over a certain age, you should be out there making money instead of worrying about band or something like that. And I think that it wasn't an issue with you. It was just a statement. I think you doubled down on that thing. So I said he must want to stand on it. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't an issue with you. And I think the word cancel, man, I don't believe in that word. Cancel culture. I know some people subscribe to that, but I think that that's a mentality. It's an admission of defeat. I don't think I've been doing this for like 4 years now. You know how many people just can't stand my guts and I can give a damn. And they try, they do a little posts and try to, hey, Eddie, this and that. I don't believe in that word cancel culture, man. But I do think that it gets back to the first question as far as working in this microcosm of different, cliques or whatever you want to call it within the band community. And if you think a certain way that's outside of that mindset, you're going to be singled out for that, man. So I don't think it's, and it's different groups, to be honest with you, it's different groups. Like, remember back in the day, we had SWAC page and SWAC fans, and that was where you went for your shit talking in the band world.
Yeah.
But now we got different Facebook groups that have, taken over that role. But we live in a world of sensationalizing certain things, man. And everybody wants to go viral. Everybody wants to, for their shit to be trending or whatever, man. And to do that a lot of times. And I look, while I say that, man, I think that I did have a problem with that statement, but if I can go back, I probably would have, because I never talked to you one-on-one, Rick. I don't think you even met before, but you sounded passionate about it, man. So I was like, man, look, let me share the thing with, like, y'all. I didn't think it was going to go the way it did, though, man. So if I could have gone back, I would not have just posted it like in a group the way I did, man. So I will apologize to you on that, man.
No, I don't have a problem, bro. We good. You know what I'm saying? Like for me,
yeah.
I mean, I'm spoiler alert. I'm about to triple now. So what I actually said, bro, was I'm about to triple down right now. What I actually said, right? What I actually said was, if you're 40 years old and you still work, your main focus in music is trying to march with some 18 to 20-year-olds in a band to just show them how amazing you are. That's what I said. I think your priorities in the wrong place. I'm still there, bro. That whole argument, right, was like, it was an argument even between Mario and I, right? Like Mario did completely disagree with me at the time, and we've since talked about it. And he's feeling what I'm saying. That was a 30-minute conversation that we were having, bro. I had spoke for like 15 minutes. So it was like I prefaced it by saying we as older people should be more focused on the alumni band side rather than the summer mass band side. And I used the PV versus Southern alumni band battle during the summer as an example, right? Because to me, that was cool as hell to see all these old goats come together, you know, and try to get it back up again. Chop's terrible, but they out there trying to make it happen. To me, mass bands, it started as all-star band, right? For kids, for high school kids. And the statement I made was like, and we had a brother come on the show like a week or two later. Y'all, Julie and Quan, I don't know if y'all remember that brother from North Carolina came on the show. And he was like, yeah, man, when I was in marching and mass band, yeah, we had older members. Yeah, they were drinking and smoking weed and all this stuff.
He was from Detroit.
Detroit, yeah. But he's a band director in North Carolina now. But he was like, yeah, we were doing all that stuff. And I simply asked that brother, do you think that's appropriate for our kids? Like, I hate the fact that our kids have to grow up so fast, man. Like, why is my 18, 17-year-old daughter in a situation with a bunch of grown men drinking, smoking, having a good old time? And I just think that's inappropriate. Do I have a problem with mass band? No. I have a problem with the approach of some of these mass bands. You know, like I said on the show, would a tuner hurt some people? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem with it. I just think that there has to be standards to everything we do as Black people.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was going to say, look, I'm privileged enough to have grown up in situations where I didn't have to grow up in poverty or just in different, so in certain parts of the country, man, that is like the only leadership or the only sense of fatherhood, so to speak, that some of them kids will get. And band is big in the South, bigger than obviously where we are in the East Coast. Y'all in Texas, right? I think y'all in Texas, but
no, I'm in Texas. Because Rick is from Norfolk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying. So whenever I try to think outside of myself, because I mean, I know, like I said, I was privileged enough to not have. I had a father, I had uncles, I had everybody that I needed in my life to guide me the way that that I need to go. But I just think that I hear what you're saying. Like, you're 40 years old, what you doing in the band with some 18-year-olds? But I think there still is a need for a lot of those kids, man, just to keep them on track.
And in that same conversation, bro, I said the exact same thing. But what I said is that's called being a teacher or a mentor. That's not called being a marching member. Oh, like, okay. I think those type of relationships are important as well. My issue is, bro, and I use this as an example even then. I know of people when I was living in Houston. I live in Connecticut now, bro. I don't live down there no more. But when I was in Houston, when I was teaching at Prairie View, there were a large number of people I knew that weren't Prairie View grad. They were from all other schools that were doing hum. And their whole purpose of doing it was to come back to shine on these high school kids. Mm-hmm. Like, how is that helping them? And like this is another example, bro, of what I'll be talking about when it comes to this whole cancel culture, which is the question, right? We can't even sit and agree on things as a community, like drinking and smoking around our kids is inappropriate, or shining on an 18-year-old as a 40-year-old is not a good thing. Yeah, all these organizations offer very, very great things, man. Like Quan was telling me about, he said this on the show. Quan was talking about how LLI is was at the time all high school kids.
Yeah, they still are. And I was about to say that, but finish your comment. I'll say that after. Go ahead, bro.
And they be whipping people's ass. So I'm sitting there like, you got a group full of high school kids whipping people's ass. You got this other group that's got all these different age ranges, whatever the influence is, I don't know. Because like you said, bro, I'm not down there and I'm not a part of that particular community. But I don't know, man. For me, maybe I'll stay out of it from here on out because I have my own opinions. But I think that it's important that our kids are able to get worthwhile experiences that are free of things like drinking, smoking, all these other things that we wouldn't do on a regular basis.
Let me ask you a question. Simple question. Is band a sport?
Yeah.
It's a sport.
Yeah. Right.
So I would say, I would agree with you. I think that if you look at it from that standpoint, from the fall to the spring is your organized, your teams. I would say you look at basketball, you can go do a pickup game on the blacktop, that would be your pickup game in the summertime. So that's like you want to come play some ball, you're gonna go out to the blacktop. That's
Right.
probably the way I would say the best way I would compare that to the Y anyway. The Y, a 40-year-old or 30-year-old, whatever, would have the
Desire.
the desire to want to go out there, and it's just a pickup game of band, in my opinion. That's the way they look at it, man. So
I mean,
So-
go ahead, Quan. I'm
Hell of
sorry.
an analogy. I never even thought.
I bet
about it.
I have some I would like to say, but I don't want to take up the whole time. Go ahead, Quan. Because I
No.
was gonna say like the equivalent of All Star Band on the core style, like you said, bro. We haven't had a chance to really get to meet. You know what I'm saying? But I have extensive background, man, in DCI, right? Which is like the core style equivalent, in my opinion, of what that could become. You know what I'm saying? Because in that same show, Ed, I talked about monetizing it, getting sponsorships behind it, making an official thing. So not only are kids getting this great experience, but it can be paid for. They don't have to travel in their own cars to these places, stuff like that. Like actual plans about money. That's where the money conversation came up. But like even these other organizations have separate divisions, right? So like DCI, there's an age limit, right? Because of these same exact situations. Once you turn 21, you have to march DCA. All right. And DCA is no limit, but those kids are, all over the place. And there are different age groups there, but it creates, a situation where it's fair. You don't have, me trying to march in the Blue Devil or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it also creates a situation where we can give that same type of teaching and experience that you were talking about, man, from a mentor perspective. I think we're all saying the same thing, just in different ways or different approaches of doing it. But go ahead, Quan. I'm sorry.
So for me, I'm gonna take a different approach. I don't mind none of that. And I did see one of our viewers, I think it's Jared. He says LLI marches college member too. That's something I only could speak about when I was, observing LLI and whatnot, and that was the early 2000s. They didn't. That was a high school thing. That was a real audition thing. When I first arrived to Houston, Greater Houston All-Star was a high school thing where you had to audition, where they had specific facilitators and clinicians where they taught you, hey, this is how you do these specific drills, where some of the band directors from the city was like, hey, we support this, and not all did. We're talking even like now, but certain clinicians and master teachers went there, and it was like, so we're gonna do a simple drill show, and we're gonna make this drill show. Y'all can take these same concepts and methods back to your high school. Because let's be clear, as a director now, we can all say, well, at least they're being on their horn during the summer. Absolutely. You want them out of trouble, right? You want them doing something productive. You want them to continue to practice. But we also know that everybody has different ideologies in precepts on the way that they teach. So I know for a fact, Julian's band director did not approve of Greater Houston All-Star. He didn't. Now, is he a GOAT, in my opinion, as a band director? Hell yeah. But that was his preference. And so that's how they got down. So I don't think it's wrong for another high school director to be like, nah, I don't support that, and give whatever his various reasons why. My only thing is, if you're going to have all-star band, have it where it's high school, and have it where if they paying this money, what they coming back with? What can they come back with that's truly tangible, that's positive, that they can bring back to my band program? Like, what's the point? Because I think if you can give a person like a sheet to say, we working on scales, we working on lip slurs, we gonna work on breathing this year, we gonna work on all of this. Yeah, we gonna march and play, but all of this is what they get in this package. I guarantee you'll have high school band directors that will sponsor specific kids so that they can attend. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. At DCI, that happens. And I think that's the difference. So when we were just talking about the last topic, we were talking about marketing. Some of these mass bands, and again, I only know a few. I can't speak for everybody, because the young man that was from Detroit, that was from North Carolina, he said they do that in his particular all-star band program. If they're doing all of that as a band director, I'm gonna support that. Why does FAMU's band camp like have been surviving for so many years because we know the standard of FAMU and we know what they teach is going to be great to bring back to my program.
But we also know that when you go there too, Quan, you ain't just doing marching band. You're doing jazz band, you're doing concert band, you're doing solo and ensemble, you're doing quintets and stuff like that. It's a curriculum. It's not
Right.
how just come blow your damn brains out with no instruction of how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, go ahead,
So
bro.
I mean, so when as a director, and I'm speaking from my seat because I'm the only band director here, and I got my partner that's a drum instructor. It's specific teaching that we want around our kids, and we know that the person that stands on the podium has the most influence during that time frame. And if I don't agree with that, I can agree to disagree with his philosophy of teaching. And if I don't, just like if you may have kids, and this is my first time meeting you, fam. If you I know you're saying you're putting your daughter to sleep. It's certain teachings that you be like, nah, my daughter not about to go around there. I think that's the same philosophy we have as band directors with our kids. Not saying that we discredit that person, but that method we may not be in agreement with it.
Yeah, I mean, you made a point. You saying like, show me something tangible, show me something that you will bring back. You can argue to say, man, what they bringing back is just that momentum from the spring to the fall. You know, that bringing that passion. You look at different states. You look at Alabama. You look at Mississippi. You look at Louisiana. We have very prevalent summer band programs. And you look on the East Coast, we don't have that culture. Not saying that is what's contributing to the fall's success, but I'm saying it's an arguable point right there. It could be some segue from the spring to the fall that's being contributed to the momentum that's, you know what I'm saying, by way of those summer band programs. Just saying that could be what you get from that.
But Eddie, what about like I'm sure you are aware of this, bro. Remember when Virginia was trying to start that all-star band?
They tried, right.
That thing died fast. Like it did. And I know a lot of the brothers that was associated, and they good dudes. In my opinion, I may be wrong as hell, man. I'm not Nostradamus here, but in my opinion, I think it was what contributed to it is the fact that they weren't trying to play like Virginia bands. They were trying to be Southern North. I
think the cat that ran it was a Southern graduate, Norman. He actually was a Southern mellophone player that tried to.
Oh, I didn't know. See, I didn't. That's why I say I'm coming from a position of ignorance.
He came from Southern, but wasn't he from Virginia though?
Yeah, he went to what's that high school in Richmond? I forget the name of the one that
Henrico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either Henrico or Huguenot.
No, it won't Huguenot. He's at
Davon Yonkers is at. Yeah,
Highland Springs.
Oh, Highland Springs.
But yeah, he's the one that started that. Anyway, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, Rick.
But no, man, like you said this in the first question, bro. You were like, each area is MEAC and you got SWAC. Every band, every conference has their own identity. If I'm not, and I don't want this to sound like I think it's gonna sound, but if they were trying to do that in the mold of Norfolk, which is the standard in that Virginia area, I think it would have been a lot more successful. Or bring Miss Sanders out. Miss Sanders is a hell of a teacher, man. Get those, I think it was like 40 people in the ensemble, and really, like you said, bro, make that an educational mentorship type of experience. I think it's something that Norfolk State could have easily jumped on.
Well, I mean, apparently it was a thing with Norfolk and Hampton. They were both working together. A Hampton band director, Dr. Jones, actually gave them access to the band room and everything, but they apparently broke a few rules that he said, look, don't play at these locations, something like that. But they broke those rules, so it was a wrap from that point on, man. And then some other stuff we can get into. I don't want to put all this, but yeah, it could have worked out, but they weren't following the script, man.
I just have one question: why we don't have middle school camps like that? I always say this on this show: the way your high schools will thrive is if your middle school is being fed. And I'm just saying, we hone in on mass band, but are we feeding the middle schoolers? And being honest, that's one of my goals, is to start a summer camp or at least a 2-3 week aspect where we if you're a beginner, we have these master teachers that can start you on how to set your embouchure. So when you go to school, to your respected high school, as a middle school student, as a 6th grader, you already know you already are ahead of the curve. to prepare you for that middle school aspect. And I'm in Texas as well for the UILs, for the solo and ensemble, so forth and so on. Why are we not feeding into the middle school? Because if my thing is this, if you're a middle schooler and you know how to play and you have great tone and you understand breathing and phrasing, it ain't nothing for me to teach you how to march when you're a freshman. But I feel like it's the Black culture. Again, we want instant gratification and we want to be entertained so much to where not being ugly. Other cultures, they see the same thing. They want to be entertained. When it's a lot of education that goes into this, and we need to focus on that side too. And I'll leave it at that.
All right.
The only way a middle school camp, Quan, will be beneficial to the standard that I think you're talking about is if the students are being taught in a way that it's going to lead to those developmental things that you're talking about. You can get 150, 200 middle school kids in a room, and if you just in there teaching them to blow their brains out without any detail to the actual standards of what it means to play your horn correctly, then you can do way more harm than you can do good. Like Julian brought this up on the show probably about 3 or 4 months ago. He was like, when he got that job and that drum line. You remember that, Julian? You was like that after school drum line fighting to try to start a program because everybody was so enamored by playing all these marching band beats and stuff after school. You got horn players outside playing marching band grooves. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of inside doing those techniques and stuff that you're talking about. So I think at the end of the day, me personally, I think a middle school camp would be awesome. But I think it has to be done in a way that leads to development rather than trying to mimic these big schools who have adults in them who have developed, armatures over 5, 6, 7, 8 years as opposed to 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a really important part of it.
Somebody in the comment brought up, the Atlanta drum camp. Like that's a prime example, bro. Those kids are reading. Those kids, and I think one of the young ladies, she was highlighted. She received a full. I know she received a scholarship
at Hampton, right? Yeah,
yeah. Bro, it's like,
but that's run by Bernard. Bernard is MD. MD standard was you gonna read this music. Mr. Bethea won't in there telling people what to play. That man was passing that sheet music out and say, "All right, let's go." How many band programs do we know of, y'all, that don't do that? All right, we playing Michael Jackson. Y'all play this. Boom. Like that's in a lot of places. That's the standard, right? Like treating the percussionists as if they're not musicians. So like that once again, Quan, goes back to what I was saying, man. You have to have the right people in front of these kids in order for it to be beneficial. Teaching by rote definitely has its place. Don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't be the basis of your music education.
All right. Let's keep it going though, because we way off topic. But it's good, man, because I want y'all to rock. I want y'all to go ahead and get it in. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's bring it back to the topic. Let's get Maya into this. I want to hear Maya's sweet angelic voice as she's doing her work and doing.
Hey, boo boo kitty.
Head ass Shaq.
There we go.
Still ain't working.
What's good, Mom?
There we go.
I got it now. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You hear us?
Ooh, child, barely.
Ooh, child, oh Lord.
Listen, I don't see how I have 3 computers and none of them allow me to log in properly. So I had the result to my phone.
Okay. You good?
Barely.
Okay.
Oh, because you got to use Google Chrome, Maya. That's why. If you use Safari, it's not going to work.
Well, I use Google. Well, okay.
You're going to work with them nails too,
right?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Dang.
All right.
But yes, y'all are definitely way off topic.
Well, bring us back. Bring us back. You go ahead and get into the topic then. Why do we cancel each other? Because we don't agree.
I mean, okay, so naturally, we the blacks, we're loud, we're ignorant, but we're also very prideful, right? And so in these types of environments, I really think the loudest person in the room is the one where people gravitate towards. If we're talking about being in some type of environment, the first person to get up and leave, everybody's like, well, what they doing? Why they getting up and leaving? Or if we out smoking and drinking, or not to say that I indulge, but if you have a mass of people who smoking and drinking and people who don't, what's wrong with them? Whatever the case may be. So nobody wants to be the outsider. And as the Blacks, culturalists, whatever, for whatever reason, we're also dick riders. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I mean, just simply put, we go with whatever is being gravitated towards. We go to whatever is being hyped the most. We go to whatever is being given the most applause or house or what have you. So if you don't fall in line with that, you the one that's look like, well, what's wrong with you? And that's why we don't agree. It should not be that way. We should be able to agree to disagree. We should all be able to have our says and just be like, okay, leave it at that. I appreciate your value that you added. I appreciate your value that added. But I mean, and naturally as the culture, if you're not in line with what the masses are saying, then you're just gonna get kicked out. I mean, we can talk about that when it comes to bands, when it comes to life in general, but just our pride just won't let us. Why do we cancel each other because we don't agree? Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm answering the question.
But Maya, the reason why we got
Maya said she gonna stay on topic.
Right, but the reason we got off topic, Maya, was because of the canceling part, right? Because Eddie was like, I don't subscribe to that shit, and I'm with him on that. I don't subscribe to cancel culture. People do effed up stuff. That's what life is, right? But to say a person doesn't deserve an opportunity to make a living or be a part of our culture anymore because we disagree with them, that's why we went to that conversation, Maya, because there were people, I read the comments too, Eddie, there were people in there, bro, who would say, that's why I don't watch this mess. They don't even know what we talk about on this show. But they instantly wrote right off a group of black people trying to improve the experience of black people in band because of a 15-second clip. Like, that's where we are, cancel culture. I don't agree, don't want to hear it. It could be we giving away $1 million tonight.
But you know what we do, man? You know what we do? We may see 100 comments. You know what we hold on to, though? The one, you're going to hold on to the one that was the most hurtful, man. It's like, there's a lot of people that was defending you also, man. So I think I got to even work on that, because I mean, I may be having a good day. I hear that one bad comment. I'm about to say F word. Can y'all cuss on y'all? I don't know if y'all. Just mess me all up. So only person man, that God, that's who can cancel you, bro. Can nobody else cancel you, bro? So.
Because it was like people, boy, I became a fourth trumpet player. We don't even have 4 trumpet parts at Norfolk State. I became a 4th trumpet player. I became this and that. Somebody whose lane went and tried to find my salary from Prairie View. Like, I'm sitting there like, damn, boy, I must have really struck a nerve. But I think the good thing about it is, I'm unapologetically me, bro. I'm not, like I said on this show, I'm not going to hate on my people. You will not hear me say no more that somebody sucks, because at the end of the day, those are kids out there. But at the end of the day, we got to be doing stuff that's moving us forward. Not me, not Julian, not Quan, not Maya, not Eddie. Us. We are in this together. The same way that you are here supporting us, bro. I've been supporting your material for years, bro. Appreciate what I'm saying? That interview you did with Kendrick, Dr. Taylor, I thought that, man, me and Julian talked about it that night. I thought that interview was amazing. You know what I'm saying? But I had never met you.
The interview that you brought together with Mr. Adams and was it
and what's her name from FAMU?
Fam, yeah.
Having a brain fart myself, man. God dog.
Yeah, all
it's late. Lindsay, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Prof. If you're watching,
we all apologize. We sorry, man.
But that's what I'm saying, Maya. And I'll get out of the way because I know you had something else. But it's like, I've never met you. I've never met Dr. Taylor. But I appreciate the fact that we have platforms where brothers can come together and have legitimate conversations about what's in the best interest of our people. You ain't gotta like me. Most of you people that don't even know me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm going to always do what I think is in the best interest of black people. That's what this platform is about, bro. So I look forward to coming on your show, man, and contributing or just supporting you from afar. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to have you on. I appreciate y'all inviting me on, man. This is, I'm with y'all for the duration, man. My daughter's asleep now. I had to go. All right, yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I was hoping that you could, during Black History Month, you was gonna give us the little Kofi hat. I was like, I said he gonna look at our show and give it to us though. I was hoping. Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah, because you was doing the band directors with the
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Oh,
That wasn't me. I know you're talking about that. I wasn't doing that though.
Terrible. Quan, terrible.
You gotta do your research before.
That was Quan. That was
Hey.
Quan. That was the other light skinned cat.
okay.
Terrible.
We all look the same. You know, we all look the same. You know what I'm saying? So.
Nah.
Yeah, man, y'all do.
Speak for yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, she ain't got
I
Christina
have
on tonight.
distinct
I hear you, Ma.
features.
Okay.
But
You
no,
ain't got right. You ain't got Christina on tonight. You got that natural daddy out. So
Natural, yeah. Where it's wavy at the top.
yeah.
here we go.
That
There we
thing
go.
slick.
But okay, like you were saying, you Brownie, you was like, okay, we, us. It's a distinct type of individual in which we found ourselves or found our own community. So of course it's not common for us. So of course we can say, yeah, we're able to do that, but that's not common among the masses. And so that's why platforms such as this are so invaluable, because we have to make that the new norm. The norm is to say, well, you don't agree, bye. Or you talking that nonsense, bye. We have to make the new norm. You don't agree, okay, well, why don't you disagree? Or why don't you agree? Okay, well, what based off of what? You got something tangible or just your opinion or perspective? We have to make that the new norm. So it's essentially that's why we decide to cancel each other, because it's not the norm. The norm is dick riding. And if you ain't, never mind. I was gonna take that a little bit too far.
Yeah, there is a limit to what we can say. Okay.
If you go back, all right, we can go back. Look, let's bring it to hip hop right quick. All right, 50 Cent came in the game. I want to say it was like what 2002, 2000.
Yeah, early.
All right,
2000.
whatever it was. So we got
Wait.
50 Cent coming in the game. Ja Rule and Murder Inc. at the top of their game. You know what I'm saying? They killing shit. You know what I'm saying? Ja Rule and Murder Inc. didn't last past maybe a year or so after 50 came at him, right? Cancel culture, canceled him. All right, fast forward a couple years later to I think Rick Ross hit the scene. Maybe let's say 05, I don't know, whenever he hit the scene. The man was blasted as being a CO or something like that, being a cop rapping about being a drug pen, kingpin or whatever.
Right.
What did Rick Ross do with that, man?
Embraced it.
So, you know, it's like
He released didn't he release a picture of him in the
of
suit or something
himself,
like that?
bro.
Yeah.
You can't be canceled unless you internalize that energy, bro. Like you can't be. Ja Rule, he admitted defeat by not continuing to make music and by not just persevering, man. Like people always gonna have shit to talk about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I choose not to pay it no mind. Cause you know what I'm saying, nobody can cancel you, bro. That's just all I'm trying to say. It's on you to be canceled.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, man. And that's definitely a great way to go ahead and end that topic, man.
All right, I know we talking.
No, I mean, hey, you know, like I said, I'm always let people rock, man. But let's keep it going. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. As soon as you come in, go ahead and smash that like, daddy. Man, I see some likes that already went up. Keep going, keep those likes going up. Go ahead and click that button. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. If you're watching us on Facebook, great. Keep watching us on Facebook. Just go over to the YouTube and subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on. Also, you can find us on all your podcasting networks at Real Talk That Talk. All right, let's bring it back just a little bit to the bands. I know this might be a little bit easy. We might can answer this one and get out the way. Maybe not. All right, so here we go. Why don't lesser known HBCU band programs get the same treatment as the favorites?
Favorites to who? Like that's you know.
But exactly. Like the favorites, you know the ones that everybody will probably mostly talk about. The Southerns, the Jacksons, now honestly the Alcorns. I mean, let's keep it real. So why don't the lesser known HBCU band programs get the same treatment as the favorites? Eddie, go ahead and start it, bro.
That's a multi angles you can come with that on, man. Why don't they get the same? How'd you write it? Why don't lesser known HBCU band programs get the same? All right. From a media team perspective, viewership is king. You know, you're trying to get as much views as you can on your video. So I'm not out there filming like a lot of the time. You know, I probably would if I was, you know, in that geographical location. But filming band A and band B, if band A is known to bring views, you're gonna film that band. If you film band B and it's a dud, are you gonna go back and film that band? That's just from a media team standpoint. Now, as far as from a viewership, from a fan and a band head standpoint, out of sight, out of mind. So then you don't have any footage because some media teams aren't recording it. How are you going to be a fan of that product? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of goes hand in hand. Unless the fans are out there filming it themselves, which they're not, they're relying on, you know, saying that the dope media teams that's recording it. So it falls on us, man. We have to. I recorded the CIAA Battle of Bands last week, and man, I got so many emails and messages from the band directors just thanking me for like you said, man, like. We didn't have anything like this out there. You know, I think I captured some good footage, man. If y'all want to check it out or whatever on my channel. But
yeah, I saw it already.
Like Virginia State's known to be one of the better bands in the CIAA, but some of the schools like Livingstone and Shaw, ECSU, stuff like, you know, bands like that, man, they don't get a whole lot of buzz, man. And out of sight, out of mind, you know, we just have to film them more, you know, and it's just, it boils down to us making that effort. But at the end of the day, man, travel is not cheap. Hotel rooms aren't cheap. There's camera equipment all in this room right now. It's ROI, man. So if we out there filming, we want to make sure that it's all, you know what I'm saying? We can't film you and you're not getting any viewership out of it. So I don't know. We probably, I think I seen Smash in the comments. You might want to bring Smash on. This is a good topic for him to jump on.
He comes on every week.
Okay.
He comes on every week. He is part of the family.
Because I will say, man, Justin, he's very, man, he will film. He's a band head. You know what I'm saying? He might have been a football player, but he loves band. I can tell he films band in general, man. But I just know if we're not getting the views, bro, it's hard to justify traveling to bumfuck wherever in what state, you know what I'm saying, and not getting any viewership out of it, man. So
hey, I get it. I understand. I get it. Absolutely. All right, Maya. I heard you giggle and sniggle, so let's go ahead. Why don't lesser known HBCU band programs get the same treatment as the favorites?
I mean, because like they're not loud enough, they're not ignorant enough, they're not flamboyant enough, they're not entertaining enough. This is just it's not my personal opinion, but this is my mass understanding. That's why. Well, what do we say? What about the ocean? It ain't deep enough, huh? Let's take the latter part of that. It ain't deep enough. If them numbers ain't talking about nothing, I mean, of course, that means something totally different. But for the blatant look of the thing, if the numbers aren't talking about nothing, nobody wants to look and see. We connect size with sound. Now, although we know that has been debunked, we connect size and with sound, right? So you see 200, 300, 400 piece band, oh, they talking about something. Oh, they about to blow that hoe. Oh, they about to do this, that, and the third. So, of course, people are going to gravitate towards that. And also, just going off the last conversation, the same in-house names have been nominated year after year after year after year after year. So, of course, that's where the whole riding comes about. We ain't got time to talk about nobody else because we spend all of our time looking at these folks. Nobody cares about anything else because they have been established as the norm, the kings, the top, the whatever. We don't need nothing else because we have we're fulfilled with Southern, with Jackson, with Alcorn or whatever, and slowly but surely we're adding to that number. But listen, band heads are like Cowboys fans, right? Whether you did good, bad, ugly, whatever, they're gonna ride to the death of it.
We got Cowboy fans on here.
I'm from Dallas.
Nope.
Damn, I was liking you for a second, Maya.
Nope.
You from Dallas though? Okay.
Well, I'm a fan by association. I really don't care either way. But
So how you feel when we laid that L on y'all in the playoffs? 49ers. Let's go. Go ahead.
I know nothing of that. But essentially that. If you're not flamboyant, if you're not, and I've used this analogy time and time again. We think about drumline, right? If you're not doing Morris Brown doing you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to get up, everybody wants to be entertained, everybody wants to feel lively, what have you. Ain't nobody got time to be looking at St. Augustine or whomever the case may be, where it's like, okay, sure, yeah, that's cute and all, whatever. But where is the ignorant shit at? That's what we want. I'm just being honest. Again, This is not how I truly feel, but in the masses, this is my answer. That's why can't nobody else get a chance, because as blacks, we the blacks, we already have who we like, and we don't need nothing else. We like our fish fried a certain way. We don't need nothing else. Don't bring me no baked catfish when I got fried catfish sitting right there. I don't need nothing else.
But that green and gold band went down to Houston, and they are definitely not a cookie cutter stereotypical HBCU show style typical band. And they got dubbed as, want to say, the best band down there. So I don't know.
But I don't disagree with that. But what I will say is Norfolk still won't get the same type of energy that the SWAC schools get. I'll actually put it on the SWAC schools, because the SWAC schools in general still will get more energy than Norfolk. And Norfolk has been known to make those surprise guests and slap people in the face. Like, think about Honda when we first went down there. The first year, my last year marching, the first year we went down there, boom. When they did the Queen City, boom, that's another one. Like, and then when they came to Houston, like they always do that. But then it's not like people are like, oh my God, I got to get more Norfolk in my life. It's like, all right, man, that was pretty dope.
You know why though, man? It's like when you drop a hit record, for example, you always got to have a second and third hit to follow that, man. So it's like, that's the problem. Norfolk's just the geographical location. If y'all was in the center of the country, bro, like in Tennessee or something, bro, it would be a whole different story, because y'all would be able to follow up with those performances with more back-to-back performances, man. So it's like out of sight, out of mind, bro. It's like that shit happened early in the season. It was like, what else could we look forward to other than that from Norfolk, So
I can't disagree with that.
We gotta move y'all school else or something.
I don't disagree with that either, because I've been like, man, we wanted, just thinking back to those years, we wanted to play the big name schools, and we had the band for it during those times, dog. So I definitely agree with that. But something else that I did think about that a couple of people are saying in the chat, our media presence is just not good. Our media presence isn't good. And, they've changed a lot since I was on the media team. They actually got, different cameras and stuff like that. But the biggest thing that I see with the media presence is just the fact that they let out the same songs. Like, anytime they drop something, it's either the same song or the same drill. And it's just not new. There's no newness to it. It's just repetitive stuff that's being let out every time. So I think that goes back to what you said. Media presence definitely makes a difference.
They working though, man. Kev and the team, they working. It's definitely improving, man. It's just, they getting it together.
Kev is definitely trying his best, man. So kudos to him and big shouts out to him, man, because like I said, when I was on it, we were doing as much as we could to try to get it out there, but that was still during the time of VHS tapes and DVDs. So, it is what it is. And dang, that makes me feel old, but whatever.
VHS, it's all good. I had one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Quan, why don't lesser known bands, band programs get the same treatment as the favorites?
At the end of the day, I don't think people really are looking for them, and that's just the unfortunate thing. Like I say, because of my experiences, I root for the underdog. Like, that's just me. I feel like even my life is a testimony of being an underdog. That's why one of my favorite bands. And if a person says, "Well, what's your top 3 bands?" I will put Florida Memorial in one of those bands. A person will be like, "Well, who's Florida Memorial?" Go look them up. Great sound. Their marching style is on point. I mean, in my opinion, if they have the numbers, they will be a great band. And from the things that I've seen from their directors, real talk, they teaching down there at Florida Memorial. So I appreciate them. I remember the days when Miles was big, and then they kind of like fell off, and then they got big again. I mean, I just appreciate the underdog mentality. So you look for those bands. I really wish that that Savannah State honestly could grow with some members. Morgan State. When I first saw Morgan State, they did their, I guess it was like a stage show when they play like Torture, and they did like a drill on stage. But great sounding band. I think again, like Maya said, because they don't have the numbers and they're not blowing, then what? I think when Bonds was at Delaware State and they were growing, that was another program like at that time. I just always try to support everybody. For those that really know me, I try to support everybody, and I just root for the underdogs. I mean, because you're going to have your typical quote unquote like was it like D1 bands. You're going to have your Southern. You're going to have your Jackson State. You're going to have those. And the messed up part about that is, even though I feel like Prairie View is a big dog in the fight, they always push PV to the side. So I mean,
y'all about to kill me on this, because everybody on this panel is educators, right?
Yeah.
So
Not mine.
Okay. So I think you mentioned the word, they had a good sound, they sounded good. Being a small band, it's not good enough just sounding good, you know. And I think that you don't have the luxury of just saying, I sound good, I should be reputable, I should be out there. I think Talladega, they set the example of, you got this new program. They weren't dubbed as sounding good for a while. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people still say they don't sound good. I think they sound great now, but that wasn't their calling card. They weren't known as being this great sounding band back in 2013, whenever they started, but they knew how to make moments. They knew how to make themselves present in the moment. It's like, you can't just say, all right, I'm a small band, I sound good, look at me. It's you got to create moments, man. I think by them being at the Bacchus parade in 2015,
yeah,
whatever year that was.
I was there. Yeah.
Bonds is a mastermind in putting himself in positions to be seen, to be felt, just to make moments and memories, man. He at Dale State, he took the band to Howard and ran a clinic, man. I mean, they sounded decent, but it's something about, you have to have that it factor. The it factor is what you need as a small band, in my opinion, to be remembered. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have Southern in the back of your mind, Jackson State, it's hard to fit these other small programs into that equation unless you're making these memories and these moments that's going to make you stand out. That's just my take on it, though.
No. And so with that being said, I do agree. I think, but in regards to the question, in regards to the treatment, if you go look at like some of, like I say, from this past year, some of Florida Memorial's like tapes, like they'll be like, the only difference in my opinion between Florida Memorial and I don't know a school to compare it to, but another larger school, the only difference you would see is they don't have the numbers as that particular school. But when it comes to marching style, like I say, timbre, when it comes to field show and innovation and themes of shows, different things like that, they already there.
So they meet those marks, but like, what is it about them that makes like what leaves that lasting memory in your mind? Like, is it something that you walk away and say, damn, I just can't forget this part of what? Like, what is it about FMU that makes you feel like that?
So for me, I started seeing that particular school during like COVID, and I just saw them marching. And then, like I say, wasn't a lot of numbers, great tone. Like when it came to volume, dynamics, all of that, they had it. When it came to marching style, the way they looked, their presence of marching in, I was like, this is going to be a great band. The only difference was they weren't 100. Outside of that, auxiliary, staging, all of that was on point. And that's why I say, so for the question, why don't lesser unknown band programs don't get the same treatment? I do agree in regards to media. I do agree with you from the perspective of how Miguel Bonds, Dr. Bonds, basically positioned himself. But if we're gonna keep it 100, everybody liked that they were the little dog that was like gnawing at the quote unquote big dog in the neighborhood. And I think that's what started, elevating them. But if we just gonna keep it 100, that band program was encapsulated with different people from different bands. So they had like, it's kind of like it was a different approach for him. Like if you march for TSU, but then you march for Talladega, some of your people is going to watch that. And I think that's how it started snowballing in a positive manner for his program to now.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, I agree with that.
So ultimately, it kind of goes back to what Maya said in a sense. If you ain't blowing that hole in the right spaces, then it don't matter. Because I don't disagree with you, Quan. I think Florida Memorial is doing a good job. I think they're actually doing a great job for a small group. I mean, it's very famish, but definitely I would say that they're doing the more Florida style of band. Let's just put it that way. But they're doing a great job. But like Maya said, we the blacks, like we like it loud, we like it ignorant, and we want to be entertained. And if you're not blowing that hole, then She might have a point there. She might have a point. I don't know. With a nail in the way. All I see is under her nail. All right. Rick, why don't lesser known HBCU band programs get the same treatment as the favorites?
At least the underneath of her nail is clean, so we in good shape.
You read my mind. That's a good man right there.
She had that dirt under there.
What
Woo.
Yeah, it
y'all
would have been
say?
tight.
Oops. What y'all say?
I said you are doing a good job with that, with clean keeping them.
Right,
You know,
keeping
my
them
grandmother
nails
told
clean.
me to always look at a girl's bathroom, shower, look at her kitchen, and look at her nails, man. So
What's wrong with my nails?
they look good. They look
Nothing.
good.
Nothing.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
So I think y'all being nice tonight. But let me be the ass. I always got to be the ass on the show, so I'll go ahead and do that.
We know.
Are we gonna sit up here and act like majority of these small bands aren't good? Like, come on, y'all. Like, the reason why people ain't giving them the same credit is because a lot of them have a lot of growing to do. Musically, it just doesn't sound good. Julian, you on this show have played clips of some of these smaller bands that we talking about. Florida Memorial, Kentucky State, North Carolina Central. Those bands are outliers. Did y'all hear that doggone CIAA Battle of the Bands? I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm just going to leave that right there.
I'm gonna go look
Come on,
at
y'all.
Hey,
Come on,
okay.
like-
You got to elaborate on that. Which band stood out to you or did not stand out to you?
The band that stood out to me from CIAA, what school was that?
Virginia
The
State.
school that's like, all right, now we about to open up. What school was that?
Shaw.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Shaw was the best band there. Small band. How the
Wow.
rest of it sound?
That's why I love band heads, because we're going to have our own opinions, right?
Right, man. I mean, I just think that we got to stop telling. And the thing about it is they can't recruit. You can't go into a band room with a 5-star recruit for band. So a kid that's all district, all state, or whatever, say I'm from such and such school, which is a small school, doesn't have that band tradition. And then Dr. Taylor from Southern come in and you like, I'm sorry, y'all were nice. Y'all offered me all this money. I'm going with the Kings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, we got to be honest, y'all.
That
The
ain't no
Flash-
different than that story that you told me when you were in there recruiting.
Hey, we don't need you. We don't want you. But if you come, we appreciate it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I
Bro,
know-
a band director literally said that I was in the room with it was 3 of us in there. I ain't gonna put who it was out there,
Mhm.
but he was a band director, and he went in there and said, "Look, we don't need you. But we'd love to have you."
Yeah, I agree
Like-
with that. I agree with that. I know, like back when I left school, I went to the military, and I went to the recruiting station. And this was the time when look, I'm going to the military. I made my mind up. I went to the Air Force first because I was told, man, they got all the money, they got all the technology, which they do. You know, Air Force got the money. So I go in there, and I wasn't impressed, man. Like they were the ones to go with if I wanted to advance my career faster, or if I wanted to get the most certifications and degrees and stuff. But I walked past the Marines room, and you know, Marines. We ain't got no money, man. But he was out there. He's like, look, same thing like you said, man. We don't promise you a rose garden, what he said. But you know what I'm saying? But we're going to challenge you the opportunity to become a Marine. I was sold, bro. 'Cause I'm like, damn, you know, it's just like, so I'm thinking like a small band come, they may not be able to match the, you know, some of the names you dropped or whatever, as far as recruitment, gusto or whatever. But it's all about positioning, man. You know, you got to be a salesman.
But the other part of that, Eddie, is we all know the eliteness of the Marines. Everybody can't be a Marine. So for me, that example is talking about a Florida Memorial or a Kentucky State. Those are the creme de la creme, in my opinion, of the smaller bands, right? So you're talking about going to the Southern of smaller bands or the FAM or whatever of smaller bands. And matter of fact, I even heard that Florida Memorial, didn't they do a battle with FAMU or something like that? Or yeah, so it's like those are the creme de la creme. We ain't talking about the bands I'm talking about are not those bands. You know, I don't want to say any names because you know, but we all know we ain't dumb. We all know what sounds good and what doesn't. And we also need to be able to have a space to critique in that way. We don't have to say the kids suck. They kids. You know what I'm saying? There are students that are there to get an education. They're not there, hopefully, to be professional marching band students. But at the end of the day, if you don't have somebody in front of you teaching you something, or as a band director, if you can't get any talent in the rooms whatsoever because everybody else goes to the other schools, then there's a problem. Back in the day, A&T, we all said it, the small band with the big sound. There was some teaching going on there. You can't have a band of 120 people, which they had, playing with that sound without somebody telling you how to do something. You know what I'm saying? Quan Butter Morgan. You know, Mr. Miles was there, 49 years? 49 years, that man's put making that band better. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about bands like that, those schools had visionaries in front of the band. People that had drive and were good at what they do. The fact of the matter is, bro, I hate to say it this way. I'm not trying to call nobody out. But a lot of these schools, not all, are the dumping ground for the people that aren't great at what we do. Sorry.
I don't know. Some of these small schools got scholarship money, though, man. I mean, they may not have the best bands, but I hear what you're saying. That could be a point that you're making. I agree with that, too, what you just said.
Like, what's in the best interest of our students? Like, think about it from a parent's perspective. Because Maya keeps saying it. We like gusto. We like flash and flare. Mm-hmm. As a parent, I want my kid to get the ultimate experience for their education, not for their marching band experience in college. Their education. What school is going to give them, in my opinion, as a parent, A, which school gave them the most money, but B, is going to give them an education that will allow them to compete when they leave school. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things I always preach on the show, bro, is like, that's why I want kids to be able to do something other than just blowing that hole, because that opens them up to a whole set of jobs that otherwise they wouldn't have been exposed to. If I only go to a show style school and that's the only thing I know, then that shuts off 60% of the band jobs that's out there. But if I have experience over here, if I have experience over there, if I have marched drum corps for a year or two, if I taught drum corps, if I did the military bands like you were talking about, bro, or all these things that make me more marketable in the community, then there is another opportunity for Black people to flourish. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think it's two-part. I think it's that there are just a lot of bad bands. But I think the other side of it is, I think it's a lot of secret small band lovers out here. I just don't.
I'm one now. Shit, I'm becoming one. I'm becoming one, bro. I am. I think that just after filming them CIAA bands at the tournament, bro, I actually reached out to the 4 tuba players from Virginia Union. I got their Instagrams. I'm about to work with them. Actually, I'm about to shoot a separate video just with them. I think that may be the approach that we need to take as far as media teams on the East Coast, man. If it's certain teams within the band that's stronger than others, work with them, man. But it's about building a brand for that band program, whether it just be for the sousaphones or we just do percussion features or whatever. Just that's enough to get those conversations started, though. So that's the way I'm approaching it, because I'm going to work with each of the CIAA bands individually and do something with them. But
I know Fascia personally. I know Fascia's musicality. Yeah. Fascia was first chair flute in the wind ensemble with us. Fascia's the real deal. Yeah. If Fascia can get the bodies in the door, I think Fascia would be making a lot of noise, man. But that's the thing. You got to be able to attract the talent to your school. If you every year having to start over from scratch or, try to teach a kid just how to create a decent sound, it's kind of hard to keep up with these monsters out here with 300, 350 people in the band blowing the walls down. So I think,
Southern March 96 members, and what year was that? One of the jukes in the comments, man, they marched 96.
Wasn't it the 88 Mafia? I think
90 something, 96 Mafia or whatever, man. So you can go
it's back. The 88, because Dr. Zachary was in that band.
Yeah, man. So I mean, it goes to show, man, you can be minimized to that many members and still come back, man. It's just a matter of the mentality you put into your program.
Yeah. So
the support, obviously.
Is it? And I think it's taboo to say you like a small band now because people attack you. Man, they trash, dog. Or the 48 Mafia, my fault.
48. Right.
Yeah.
But
48 Posse, he said. 48 Posse.
I agree with you, Eddie, on like getting those small groups and really, really trying to hone into those small groups and those different organizations. And Maya can probably attest to this, because that's kind of what we see on the dancer side. Like, we're starting to see a lot more dance groups because of the fact that people are going to those smaller schools and just recording the girls and putting them out there and branding them. And so not only does that bring attention to those dance lines, but it starts bringing a little bit more attention to those band programs as well. So I think that is definitely a good idea. And I know, with you saying that, and then I know Justin has said he's made it a point to get to those smaller bands or those lesser known bands too. So I think that's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's a group called the Passionettes, man, the dancers for the Albany States band. They, I go ahead and say it, they are keeping that brand afloat right now. That's an awesome dance line. And Albany State has seen better years, but right now the Passionettes, man, they are definitely talked about just as much as a lot of these other dance lines.
Maya, you heard of them? Because I've never heard of them before.
The Passionettes?
Yeah.
We asked her a question, and all of a sudden she just put her hand in. There you
What
go.
was she left?
Ben. Shit. I hate this damn phone. But yeah, Ben. Wait, am I?
You on?
We can hear you.
We can hear
Is it
you.
just me?
We can hear you, girl.
And she didn't know.
And Smith. We'll come back to her.
But can we also acknowledge that this big band thing is a new phenomenon in HBCU band world? Because remember, the only big band back in the day was FAMU.
That's it.
Right.
And Southwest
The biggest we ever got when I was in Norfolk State Band was 200. And shout out to my Disney brother Ant Phillips in the comment. Back in the day, he said Mr.
Right.
Fields was that ain't Ant.
No, I'm saying tight because we were bigger than that by the time I got there.
But no, I'm saying like the biggest we ever got was like 2 something. But back in the day, he said Mr. Fields was only charting 96 people. Like that's a new phenomenon to band world. So I think that's the other part of it, right? Is people are getting used to seeing these 300-piece bands. They are, man, and it's exciting, man. Like I'm sorry, when you get that 300 blowing at full volume, and you standing like that, Julian, we got to tell them the Holy Grail story. Eddie, we went to Boombox Classic in 13. Me and Julian. It was Jackson State's homecoming. No, Southern's homecoming. And we were there, bro. And we had a ball. So we go into the game and we're sitting beside Jackson because Dr. Sanford was the band director at Jackson. So, we rooting for Jackson, man. Southern cranked up that Holy Grail with them 300 people and they faced Jackson, bro. That is the biggest sound I've ever heard from across the field. Me and Julian was like, oh, God. Like, that shit was crazy. And we were sitting there like, bro, they are bringing that shit. So
yeah,
man, it's exciting. You want to hear that, man. You want to get that feeling like, oh my God, this is incredible. So Justin, I just gave you Justin. I know you hear me. Justin, I just gave another comment. That's my song, Holy Grail.
Holy Grail was it. Maya, you go to Passionettes? Well, that was the question before you submitted.
Yes. Yes. Ben, I was watching the Passionettes before I even went to PV. Passionettes been on. Passionettes have been keeping so much so I forget the damn band name.
Albany.
It was Passionettes.
Albany State, yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. What I say.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Passionettes been on. Golden Stars been on. Golden Stars are
What school
Miles.
is
It's Miles College.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. 2 very underrated teams that are starting to now rebuild. Well, I go back and forth with Sophisticated Ladies from Tennessee State. Right now, they're on the up and up, but it took a lot for them rebranding. But from what we were talking about, Passionettes and Golden Stars, they've been that girl.
Mm-hmm.
They dropping that water.
All right. Cool, man. All right, let's go ahead and keep it moving, man. If you're just tuning in, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. As soon as you come in, go ahead and smash that like, daddy. We want to make those likes smash the number of views that we have. So if you haven't clicked that like button yet, go ahead and do it. Let's get these likes up. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the Passioneers Network. If you're on the Facebook page, come over to the YouTube page, click the subscribe button, and turn on notifications. Also, you can find us at all your podcasts and networks at Real Talk That Talk. This is going to be the last topic. And then once we put this last topic in, I'm going to put the link in so you can call in with us. Just make sure you refresh your browser so you can see the link. All right. Last topic. How do we say, I'm going to say this, and if I need to elaborate, I will. How do we say protect the culture when most don't know what the culture really is? How do we say protect the culture when most don't know what the culture really is. Everybody look like they thinking hard on that one, so I'm gonna let it marinate. Okay, Rick.
Mhm.
Then Rick, go ahead. You got it first, then, bro.
I don't think that the question really addresses. Well, I know what the question is, right? But I think the culture. I think that's the problem. I think that all of us thinks we're experts on the culture. I think the culture is what your experience in the culture is, because we all have varying experience. We have varying experience levels. You know what I'm saying? I've been in HBCU band culture, like you said, June, for 22 years, bro. You know, I've been doing this. So it's my experience is going to be different than a high school kid that loves Southern. That's why I'm never going to judge those kids because they love what they love. All I ever say on the show is just be marketable. Have something, don't be one-sided. Have something that will make you marketable in this thing and be good at what you do. So I think that that's the first mistake is we all assume that we're experts in band culture. Protect the culture means do what's in the best interest of Black people. Let's get Black people in college. Let's get Black people into careers where they can financially support these institutions that they say they love so they can actually make their bands better in a tangible way. You want your band to be better? You need to put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? That's just how it works, y'all. Like, I don't know. We keep telling people this, but it seems like it's foreign language. HBCU band culture doesn't need to be protected. Why? Because we all are still involved in it. We all give back. We all talk about band. You know, our bands are now on national TV, like I said before. There's so many beautiful things that happen in the HBCU band culture. Are there bad things? Yeah. I wish we were nicer to each other. I wish it was okay for band directors to be friends again, or bands to be friends with one another. Or, you know, like Quan, you bring this up all the time. Back in the day, Dr. Sanford, Dr. Graves, all them was cool. They would hit that hen dog, everybody in there drunk as hell, having a good old time. It wasn't, man, I hate you because you wear a different uniform than me. That's what's damaging band culture. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to stop being full of ourselves, man. Ain't nobody bigger than the next person. I'm not bigger than anybody on this call. We ain't bigger than anybody out there. I think that, we all bring different points of view and great things to the table. So, man, stop being full of yourself, man. Let's do what's in the best interest of our people, not what's in the best interest of me. So, yeah, even that question, man, is like, protect the culture. We all need to protect it because we care about it and we love it. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Quan, how do we say protect the culture when most don't know what the culture is?
Well, first we have to begin being amicable with one another. Like, it's okay to agree to disagree. Like, most of my comment of what I'm about to same ground with what Rick has basically expressed. Like, it's okay. It's okay to say, man, hey, I march for FAMU marching 100, but I appreciate Southern for who they are, for them being them, because we're promoting HBCU culture. And I'm gonna say this, and I have to say this. You don't hear the Blue Devils talking shit about the cadets. You don't hear people in Compass talking about Genesis.
Compass doesn't exist anymore.
Oh man. All right, man. Anyway. Kind of took the wind out of my sail.
All right, sorry.
Go ahead and finish, Quan. Go ahead and finish.
God damn it. Anyway, but you don't hear, like, you don't hear our counterparts in other cultures like shitting on each other. Like, you don't hear this mariachi band talking crap about them. What they figure out is, how can we all get ahead? And I hate to say it like this. I say it all the time. We still deal with post-traumatic slave syndrome because it's like we can't go to the same goal together. We always say, well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but when you skin your cat that way, then you're wrong because you're not doing it the way I'm doing it. It's like to agree that HBCU culture has to begin maturing. I'm gonna use that word. We need to begin maturing. And I'm saying that because I've been in the DCI world, of course, not as long as Rick and not as long as Julian, but I'm blessed to participate in it as a tech and whatnot. Man, them kids, when they go to other people's shows, they appreciate the show for his artistry and his pageantry. That's it. After they trying to take pictures, they not. It's not the same. It's not like, oh, I'm a Crip because I went to PV and then he a Blood and he went to TSU, but we can't get along. Like, nah, bro. It's musicians. And it's some point where it's like, say, bro, that was good. What is wrong with saying, say, bro, that was a good field show? And we have pages, like you said it yourself, Eddie, like we have pages that the specific goal is to tear down the other one. You don't see that in other, you don't see a DCI page where they like F the what's the Madison Scouts. You don't see that, bro. The groups that I'm in,
Right, like F Mandarins or something, right?
yeah, like they literally be in a group. They be like, man, Blue Coats Tilt was awesome. You know, this like, and they have a sense of camaraderie and fraternalism because they march for DCI. Why we can't operate like that? I see a dude from Alabama State and be like, dang, you march for the Marching Hornets, man. I marched for PV, bro, man. I mean, how was your experience, bro? Like,
But Quan, I don't mean to cut you off, bro. We do that for the HBCU experience. When I'm in the airport and I see somebody from another HBCU, I always go over and say something, right?
right,
It's specific to band, bro. It's just
right. That's what
band.
I'm saying. Yeah, for that
it's
portion.
just band. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No. You know, you're fine. But we all know at HBCUs, we share a few things in common: financial aid, right? The cafeteria,
I agree.
and then like a dorm room fiasco.
Hold on. No,
I
man.
agree.
You didn't gas now. That cafeteria at Norfolk State, complete garbage.
Bro.
Complete garbage.
No, wait, pause, bro.
The cafeteria at Morgan State
No,
is the best cafeteria in the history of cafeterias.
But no, listen, bro. Me and you have this discussion all the time. One, I don't disagree with you about Morgan State's caf, but if you talk to Morgan people who came to Norfolk, they be like, man, our calf trash.
Depending
The
on
same way. It's like you talk about like you look at the girls in your yard, you're gonna think, oh man, I done seen these same girls every day. But you go to Norfolk, y'all like, damn, y'all got all the girls. When it's really y'all saying the same thing about Morgan girls. So it's like, you get tired of the same old.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We used to say that about Hampton girl. Hampton got
Oh.
finest.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
when Dr. Sanford told us we was getting that Morgan calf after that rehearsal, well, you would have thought we was going to Roost Chris, man. Let's go.
Nah, the way y'all did our band, they shouldn't have gave y'all nothing, man.
but the bottom line is like we share that sense of camaraderie, but we also tear each other down in the same breath. And I feel like if we could stop doing that and just say, hey, I appreciate this band for them doing them, I think that's the push in the right direction. And then lastly, support all HBCUs. I think you said, Eddie, when you first got on here, why the march is not pushed the way it is. Like this is a national syndicated, well, not syndicated at this point, but a national show that's being pushed, that it doesn't have a negative narrative. And what's kind of negative, they're resolving. So like, but we're not pushing that though. I mean,
it's the brand. I mean, like I said, man, PV is a great band, but had it been another band, insert favorite band here, it would be a different story. That's all I'm saying, man.
Most definitely, bro.
But as far as the cultures, man, I think that if you look at it from the standpoint of Showtime at the Apollo, perfect example. Okay. That is probably the most difficult stage to perform on as a black act. I mean, if y'all everybody knows what the Showtime at the Apollo was, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you go there with the expectation of being booed, most likely. That's some negativity for your ass. Like go there expecting to get booed. You know what I'm saying? But I think with that with that knowledge, you got to come correct. And I think that you mentioned some of the other DCI bands or not friendlier bands, but bands outside of our culture, they don't have that same edge that we have, man. They sound great, but it's just we just a different animal, man. I do agree that we should know how to turn that off, but it's hard. I mean, it's the competitive spirit is just there, and it's something I think it's ingrained in us. And you mentioned the word PTSD. It could go back that far. I agree with you. It could be based on us just dealing with some stuff we got to deal with as a people, man. But Yeah.
But Eddie, how do you hate somebody you don't even know? That's the thing that bothers me, bro. Like these bands haven't interacted with each other. You know, I think it's a little easier now with social media because back, like, I took 2 L's in college. That was it. The first time we played Texas Southern in California in 2000, and that was just because it was different. They had a better book than we. We was playing the same stuff Norfolk play every year, and A&T in 2000, and then we went back in 01 and put Foots, but in 2000.
I'm just typing it in my YouTube so I can go back and watch it later.
Right.
Bro.
But like those groups, man, like and they even said 99 probably. And let me know, but at the end of the day,
yeah, I agree. 99 TSU, y'all got that L too.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't in the band in 99, but but my thing is, at no point did I hate anybody from A&T or TSU. I said, you know what? That's motivation for us to get back in this damn band room and do what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? Or FAMU 98, I was at that game. That was a complete slaughter. So when Norfolk went down to FAM in 03, I wasn't in the band no more. But Norfolk went down there with an agenda. They handed us all parts of our ass in 98. We got a job to do. And not one person in that band in 03 in the band in 98. But nobody there hated FAM until Norfolk got in a fight, with FAM. So I think at the end of the day, man, it starts with the leadership. I've said this on the show. Quan said it on the show. Imagine how effective it would be if all our favorite bands, Jackson, Southern, Norfolk State, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, all those directors came together as one and said, we are in solidarity with one another and our expectation of musicianship is aligned. It would be so effective in the community because it would instantly affect these high schools if, all these bands play with characteristic sound or what their version of characteristic sound is, and they all agree. Then at that point, the high school is like, man, we can't do that because band A or B is not doing that anymore. I want to be like them. I want to go there. It would be so much more effective, man. Unity is important, y'all. But yeah, I'll shut up. Go ahead, Boo Boo Kid.
Yeah, my
slick back
with the wavies.
Yes, sir.
Y'all are silly. Well, I guess my take is a little bit different. To me, I think first and foremost, protecting the culture right now is having the willingness or the ability to reshape and redefine what that means. In the sense of, right now we're saying protecting the culture and the idea of how it has been and being able to quote unquote keep that alive, which in essence, we love it. It makes sense, but I don't think that that is conducive to the current environment. This culture, what we're seeing right now, is not that culture. That culture meaning the eras that we grew up in, the eras that came before us, and the eras in which we've shaped, grown to love, and kind of imagine the culture to be. And I think that right now, the biggest thing of protecting the culture is also protecting its vulnerability. And I think that vulnerability lies as musicians, as artists, as people of the art, as dancers, or however you want to break it down. Protecting the culture now means being able to transcend, being able to transition, to adapt, and be willing to push forth and figure out what the new narrative is. Because, if we're wanting to keep the culture alive, we have to be able to adapt to what's going on. And I think that's part of the problem. That's part of the break. That's part of the inability to be able to agree and disagree, is because half of us are saying, well, this is what y'all need to do. Back in my day, sir, uncle, old school, we're not back in your day. This is a brand new day. These kids are 1,000% different than we were, y'all were, and the people before us were. So right now, protecting the culture is redefining what the culture and what that statement means and what it looks like. And that has to be the focus until, like I say all the time, until that new norm is shaped. We don't know what the culture is because right now the culture is in a state of transition, and it has been. And the transition is not able to ebb and flow as it needs to because we have all the old schools. We have all us saying, like, That's not what we did. That's not how we did it. Young blood, get off your horn, give it to me. Let me show you how it's really done. And it's not really shaping up, and it's not helping anybody. So now we have this cyclical mess of nothing happening, and now we just in limbo. The culture is in limbo. So, as I stated, protecting the culture. Right now, the focus is redefining what that is and pushing it out in a positive and a safe environment.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and just bring it full circle. I think, man, just my idea of protecting the culture. We talked about, the all-star bands and, old heads being involved. And my idea of protecting the culture is preserving it, man, and keeping it in-house, because I think the SWAC is probably one of the only conferences right now that has have a band director association within their conference. Like all the SWAC bands, I think John Graham is the president of that association. He's the director over at Pine Bluff, but they actually have a conference call. I don't know what their tempo is as far as how often, but the competitive spirit's going to be there. The hatred for some people they'll have that hatred or whatever. But at the end of the day, as long as we maintain the ownership of the culture and like shows like March and other people getting involved now with our culture, man, as long as we driving that narrative and we still behind the wheel and the ship, man, we'll be all right. And that's the way I see it, man. We may not get along or whatever, like you said, Rick, and everything, but as long as we maintain the ownership of it, we'll be all right. As far as protecting the culture, anyway.
All right, man. Awesome, good feedback. Let's bring in our first guest. Hey, if you guest, man, let's keep it brief, man. Try to keep it under about 2-3 minutes because we want to get people off and let people go back to their lives because we definitely got to hit that work daddy in the morning.
Yep.
All right, so let's try to keep it brief. All right, so the first person we're gonna bring in, let's bring in Jared. What's going on, brother?
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, for sure.
All right, what you got for us, bro?
Hey, man, for real, man, I would definitely want to be on this show. Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter, man. I ain't talked to Rick in forever, man.
What's
hey,
up, bro?
Man, it's always good to see you, man.
What's up, bro?
Y'all chimed in on a lot of good stuff. As always, man, I've been commenting my butt off. I was like, let me just try to slide in this mud and just, man, give y'all kudos on having the show. This is a fantastic topic, man. This last one was definitely a brain scratcher, which I like. But I agree absolutely with everything that you guys said. You know what I mean? I think it's actually interesting that people don't know the camaraderie that a lot of college directors actually do have. Just because it's not seen, you know what I mean? I do remember people like Doc and Adams, talking about how they had people come to the house, you know what I'm saying, for the let's call it the extracurricular after everything was over. And they just chop it up, man. People didn't know that they had those, those relationships. And some people get caught up in, the drama of it all and don't really know what's really going on. Like one case in point, man, is the one Mardi Gras battle that Miles and Southern did. People was like, "Yo, Snipes hate everybody," and like I like went to a game or something. I seen him and I asked him about it. He was like, "Bro, I'm cool with all of them." You know what I mean? Like you can't the Snipes persona. Like he was like it's a character. You know what I'm saying? This is just something I do. You know what I mean? Because I understand what's going to appeal. Matter of fact, he's not the only person who said something like that. I was taking kids to, these summer camps and at the colleges and whatnot. And a lot of them were saying that, bro. It is so interesting to me. I went to Southern's high school camp like 3 years in a row. And just hearing what the directors are telling the students, man, they was killing them kids' dreams. They was like, yeah, I know y'all showed up thinking that y'all was about to just be in this mud, as y'all say, blowing that hole. Absolutely not. Take that march out. Niggas was like, whoa, wait a minute. Who? Like, take this symphonic band clinic, this concert band clinic. Like, because you can't do nothing without fundamentals. It's interesting to know, you know what I'm saying, what people gravitate to or what people think is like the ultimate, and they actually have no idea. Like you saying in this last question and whatnot. But Man, I had, thoughts and everything on pretty much everything, but I mean, I put it out in the chat. So I know y'all trying to wrap this mug up. I'm gonna really try to be on this. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna be here on Monday. I got festival that week, but I'm definitely gonna make a return to this mug. I definitely would love to be on Talk That Talk because this is like the bee's knees of everything. My hashtag is reminiscent of Maya. Where's the ignorant shit at? I'm definitely gonna put that on the shirt because that is just amazing. But yeah, man, I just wanted to stop in, man, and say, man, this is fantastic, dude. I love this podcast, the show, everything, man. Just keep doing what we're doing, and much love to everybody in this month.
Man, appreciate it, bro, man, and appreciate the love, man. 100%.
For sure.
All right, bro.
Yeah, people don't realize, man, how close Dr. Sanford and Mr. Adams were to so many, like Charlie Brown from Shaw when he was at Shaw. They like really, really close friends, man. There was, I think if they were direct competitors, I think it would still be the same way, bro. I just don't subscribe to the fact that we gotta hate each other. Yeah, I'm just as competitive. Anybody that truly know me, knows how competitive I am, man. I will not let anybody outwork me. But at the end of the day, me and Julian are arguing on this show. That's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? We gonna argue. We can call everything in the book. I'm gonna call them all. Hey, what's up, dog? What we doing? You weak?
Right.
You weak? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Like we gotta get past that. Go ahead, Ju.
All right, man. Let's welcome the other family to the show. What's going on, Justin? How you doing,
My
bro?
man.
Had to get your sip in. I know.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot, bro. We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it brief. All right, go ahead. You got it.
The first, I'm talking the last topic. You was like, how do you put the culture when yada yada that point? One, I agree with Eddie on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the culture is what you make it, as long as it's what we do. If it makes sense. For example, we all argue about every band have their own style, right? You know what I'm saying? The plan, like the Sweat. The culture is what we've been doing all these years. You know what I'm saying? You add your little input in it, and you just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? The culture dies when it stops. You know what I'm saying? We talk about how like all these Texas. You just telling me in the last episode how big your high school band was, right? And certain things hinder it. Like certain things, I said, like the administration and the school district start doing all the stuff they did to kill it. But we got to get rid of those administrations. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of way. To keep the culture going, you got to keep it going and never stop. That's what I want to say about that part since we're short on time. But this other topic though, the one where y'all was like, why don't lesser known HBCU band programs get the same treatment? We hit a few points. Florida Maury is 2 years old. 2, not even a whole 2. Y'all keep saying their name. You know what I'm saying? What they doing? Let's write that down to see what they're doing. Kentucky State. You know what I'm saying? Small program. You know what I'm saying? I started going over there, but that was 2 years ago. Been telling people there was gonna be that's another topic. They doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these bands been around. Rick, Luke, if you gonna snip any part, please snip that part. When Rick was like, let's keep it real. A lot of these bands suck. You know what I'm saying? That's what we will say enough.
I'll chop it up just for you, bro.
Please, I'm gonna reshare it too, because sometimes we need to hear that. Sometimes I ask like, damn, what school that band director went to? But they went to that school. Why did band song?
Hey, be honest, Justin. So Kentucky State, how much can you don't give yourself no credit for them being the band they are? Because you was one of the first ones giving them coverage.
That was my next point I was making on the next topic, because which leads to like some of the reasons why they don't do it, bro. Like this season I dedicated to going to a bunch of small schools. I did a little project on my own because I ran into a small school. I won't say the name. The year before COVID, and I was walking around their band, and not one person knew who I was. Not one. And I ain't saying I'm supposed to be superstar guy to give the earth, but if you some type of band here, you know what I'm saying, you should know something. I show my face a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, well maybe they don't know, so I'm gonna introduce myself. My first time meeting Kentucky State, that was in 18. Mr. Al never knew exactly who I was. You know what I'm saying? So I said, boom. Bands need to just deal with the times. I know sometimes we have pride, you know what I'm saying? But so to have a crazy media team, how does school invest in the media teams? these small bands always brag about how much money they got, and how much scholarship they got. Well, let's put some of that towards what the other schools are doing. Man, Lord knows if Norfolk had a media team, or if I could be Norfolk media director for one semester, boy, do you understand what I'm doing? You know, like the sound alone, the military look alone. So, like I posted that video of them standing in formation outside of Hampton for 8 minutes straight, and that video got almost 10 racks of them standing still. That is unreal. You know what I'm saying? Do what these people are doing. Another band. When I did the virtual battles over COVID, and you know we bad heads capital down here, Mardi Gras. You got to make us a believer down here. I don't care how good you say you is, you got to prove yourself. When I did them virtual battles with Langston, and Langston, I was like, God damn, Langston big and they sound good, and you get the okay from me. I told my friends back home and all the bad heads, y'all better watch out for Langston. Same thing they did when I said Kentucky State was good. Nobody ever went to Kentucky State. Kentucky State carrying the Mardi Gras, they did that. Kentucky State went to Tennessee State this past semester and did their thing. Now, I'm a firm believer in, as us videographers, Eddie, I feel like we got to make people watch. I know one thing I'm good at with Smash Time. I know what to record. I know how to record it to get people something. You know what I'm saying? But if you bring me in to shoot your band, you know what I'm saying? I can't put the product out for you. I just can highlight it. But if you ain't got the product,
let me ask you this, man. Because you did some recording this weekend. How you feel about this weekend, brother?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Bloody Sunday is all culture, right? That's not the best. That's not the best. The band's supposed to sound, and I ain't looking for bands that sound amazing or superb when it comes to New Orleans. New Orleans, you know we about Eddie. I mean, you know we about Rick. New Orleans All-Star Band, baby. I need to get that. You know what I'm saying? To me, the band sound good to say Texas Southern is in a rebuilding stage. Langston, first time showing their butt, and Talladega just took a huge hit. You know what I'm saying? So even with that, you know what I'm saying? It was pretty good to me. It depends on what you're nitpicking, but I tell you one thing, look at those videos and look how engaged all those hundreds of high school kids are watching, picking their favorite school, culture, and they doing what they gotta do. Last thing, if you are a marching band, another thing too, before I get last thing, if you're a marching band and you not coming to Mardi Gras, I feel like you choose to be behind the curve. You choose to, you know what I'm saying? Because you watching something take place down here every year, and all these schools come down here, big schools, and you watch the smaller schools come down here and get bigger. Like what school? Stillman came down here. You did thing, got recruitment. You know what I'm saying? Kentucky State. You did thing, got recruitment. Why y'all not coming? I witnessed another school come down here. I don't want to name them. They came down here and there was a smaller band, bro, and they did not even.
I think it was Lane. It was Lane, wasn't it?
Nah, Lane. No, I don't want to talk about that. I don't because I'm really. We could talk offline about that, Rick. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like as a college, I don't care. You're a college, and I understand our high schools have they big. You know what I'm saying? But you're supposed to still showcase and shoot your shot at these kids. You never know who will come to your school. You know what I'm saying? Closed mouths don't get fed. That was a lot, but I know we pushed for time, bro. But yeah, it went down this weekend. Y'all should have been.
Hey, good footage, bro. Yeah, you killed it out there.
Yeah, especially when that big ass van rolled in front of you. You had to hit the joint around the van, bro.
Wow, pushing stuff away like that.
Yeah, I've been watching all your joints, man. So definitely, because that made me change my mind about how I perceive, you know, what happens down there. It's definitely cultural, man, and I never looked at it from that aspect until I really watched your videos and really got into it. So I appreciate
you would have been proud of me, Justin, because that what you said is exactly what I said at the time. I'm like, was it some bad sound? Sure. But the fact of the matter is that amount of engagement, I seen white folk in the middle of the street, black folk, everybody out there in the middle of the street enjoying our culture, man. And that's just huge, bro.
Let me get that first. Because people don't know. Talladega wasn't even in that parade. It wasn't a parade that night. They know the parade Bacchus, right? They knew Texas Southern. Well, on my live, I'm gonna take credit for this. Javon, if you're watching it, I got Javon to come on and talk stuff. I know I'm gonna have all the whole Javon to watch the live. You know what I'm saying? So get on here and tell me about Talladega. I mean, tell me about Texas Southern. They're coming out here to Talladega's territory because they come out every year, talk a little Spanish talk. Adrian got in the parade. They did two parades a day. They did two parades. They got in that parade just so that moment can take place. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, bro, if college, if Mardi Gras is not on your schedule, I just feel like that's like the same way y'all look at Honda and the same way y'all look at all these better bands that you want to make in Rose Bowl and all this, I feel like Mardi Gras is free and you get paid to do it. Parade's looking for college bands. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need a connection, let me know. I can put you in contact with any high school director, any parade crew. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I don't know, man. It just make you mad when I feel like bands, when you say, why don't bands get bigger? Y'all is like, bruh, I don't know what, I can go on and on about it, but I feel like bands not doing enough when they come down to that. They're not. And that's
All right, man. Yeah. You know. I already know, man. We could go for a while, man. But like I said, we gotta try to get these folks out of here, bro. But you ain't hit me up, man. You gotta hit me up on that Instagram so I can send you that joint, bro.
yeah, send me that link so I get that shirt because I got something coming up. But y'all, so long story short, I got some videos coming out of a school y'all wait. You know what I'm saying? I went and shot them the same weekend I shot that game with the Battle of the Bay. You know what I'm saying? Hard drive, some crazy stuff happened, but I was able to get the videos back. And when I put look at this, when I put these videos out, is exactly what we said. It's a matter of how you put the look. And I beg to differ. There's one drum section, Quan, these people like that. I'm telling you now. Before I put the video out of these people, and they over there by Yahweh, not too far from Norfolk, about what about an hour and a half away. So they get a hit. All y'all people watching, they are definitely like that. And I shot the video. I'm gonna put it out like Monday so we get a time to watch it. I had all this Mardi Gras stuff down, but these people like that. Like just because presentation and how it was shot and how it was highlighted. You know what I'm saying? So that's another story for that day. I'm highlighting y'all. Send me that link too.
Hey Justin, what a
I'm gonna send it to you in the Instagram. I'll send it to you in your Instagram.
Hey man, it's Eddie, man. What's up with the clock, bro? You remember 5 years ago I asked about the clock, bro?
What the clock plaque or what you want?
You was awarding plaques. The smash clocks.
Well, that was for my Smash Bad Battle of the Band, which I'm just rebranded this Mardi Gras. When I seen all these bands, I was like, oh yeah, it's going down. But Eddie, I'm gonna get one made. I'm gonna send it to you for sure.
I was messing with you. All right,
so you need one.
Hey Maya, what that wine daddy talking about? Because you've been sipping this whole time. You feeling good?
I have not been sipping it this whole time. Maybe the past 15 minutes.
Hey y'all, love y'all much. I gotta get out of the school.
Yeah, I know, bro. I know. All right, Justin, man, we'll holler at you, bro.
Bye.
I'll send that to you, bro. All right. I saw Ant in here. Ant, he was in there, man, but I think he had to roll. And it's all good, man. I know it's getting late, so I want to go ahead and wrap this up, man. I appreciate everybody for joining us. Let's do it the right way. Rick, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture, bro?
Yeah, man. Tomorrow, y'all, you know how y'all know me. I like to put my money where my mouth is. Tomorrow, my wind ensembles performing. I would like to thank a lot of y'all for supporting my recital. That was amazing, man. Tomorrow, the wind ensemble is performing our next concert, man. You can watch it for free on the UConn Music website. The name of the concert is A Night with the Classics. So we're going old school with this performance, man. We're starting with this piece by Prokofiev called Athletic Fanfare. Then we're going, or Athletic Festival March. Then we're going to Colonial Song by Granger. First half will close with Chester by Schumann. Then we're going Festive Overture by Shostakovich and finishing with Candide by Bernstein. So we're doing an old school classic show for the wind ensemble genre, man. That's going to be great. And man, I ain't been on the show in like 2 weeks. Man, it was some good music that came out over these last 2 weeks. That new Robert Glasper Black Radio dropped this past Friday. If y'all ain't got that Robert Glasper album, you are asleep. That album is incredible. That Moonchild dropped 2 weeks ago. If you ain't got it, you sleep. Starfruit. And then just to give y'all a new artist, man, I was listening to her today. She has like a 70s vibe to her music. Sound like Minnie Riperton almost. But a young lady named Raveena, Raveena. And the name of the album is Lucid. If y'all want some real good vibes, man, that's a good album for you to check out. But yeah, man, come support some good music tomorrow. Let's continue to support our people, man. We in this together. Ain't nobody my enemy. I don't hate nobody. You know, I just want to see what's better for us. So let's support Black and let's stay together, man.
All right, 100. Okay. All right, let's do it the right way.
What's good, man?
There we go. Maya, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
Oh Lord, I'm just trying to keep it together. This damn thing, I ain't never doing this no more.
You over there seasoning chicken. I see you.
Huh?
I said you over there seasoning chicken.
It's catfish, but yeah, it's late, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, same as always. I've been missing for a couple weeks.
She got that
Like-
goo in the background.
I was listening to that too.
It's that mac and cheese sound. What's going
I
on?
didn't even realize.
Bruh.
My bad. Okay, let me stop. Let me focus. Okay, yeah. I've been missing for a couple weeks, so I'm glad to be back. But yeah, I mean, it's been another great show. I was in and out due to this phone connection, accidentally hitting the X button so many times. But glad to be back. Glad we're still doing this. Glad we're still building community. And yeah.
There go that goo again. Hey, I forgot to tell y'all.
I'm trying to multitask and it's
Right,
not really.
you got that goo in the background. Hey,
Look,
Well,
when
somebody,
at least
hey,
you know what's going
talking
on.
about
We back.
something.
We in here
when you
cooking.
stop talking, I'll hit the mute button for you so we don't hear.
Hey, but for real though, for my hip hop heads, that new Big Crit drop. It's okay. I like it. It's
You
just
like it?
it's okay. It's not my best representation of my boy. Like I love Big Crit, and these last couple albums have been I don't know. But if you want a good listen, he got a track on there that I'm really feeling. A young lady, y'all seen that video with the young lady, man? She Ashley J had did that Sing With Me during Christmas.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I bought this lady up on show. Her name is Rolyn. So track 15. That lady's voice is incredible. And she has a really good EP too. Rolyn, ROLYNNE. Check her stuff out, y'all. Her voice is insane. So that's it.
All right. Bet. Hey, Chuck, I see you down there, bro. I know we usually get you in, man, but I gotta get everybody going, man. I'm sorry, bro, but I know you're gonna be back on Monday, so it's all good. It's all good. All right. Eddie, man, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
Nah, man, I just appreciate it, man. This is an excellent show tonight, man. I thank you for having me on, y'all.
Man, anytime, bro. Like I told you before, man, I've been trying to get you on for a while. It's just kind of been scheduling and stuff and trying to get myself together for, band life and all that kind of stuff. So
Hey,
man,
Eddie, pub your show, man.
yeah, man, most definitely.
Let's support you, man.
You said pull it up? Oh no, I mean no.
Pub your show, man. Let the people know like when your show is, so we can all come support you too, bro.
I'm working on something midday. Matter of fact, man, it's gonna be something like a luncheon with 50 or midday. We're gonna do something around noon, man. So I'm teleworking. I said I need to go ahead and do something around that time frame, man. So look out for something maybe noon, maybe twice a week, something like that. Figure you on your lunch break, tune in. Let's do what I'm saying. Podcasting at noon, man, something like that. So meet me on the 50.
100, man. Y'all, anybody who's watching this right now, everybody who's watching this, go please check out Eddie and meet me at the 50, man. He's always had some great content. I've been checking him out for a while. I've checking him out for years, man. And it was really dope when he became my chapter bro. So I was like, all right, yeah, hell yeah. So it's definitely great to have him. I definitely appreciate you. You are welcome back anytime, bro.
Thank you, man.
100%, man.
Hey.
Other than that, man, before we get out of here, we have a new show that's going to be coming up on Sunday with Miss Krista Williams, Diary of a Female Band Director. She's got an awesome podcast. She's going to have all female directors, all educated, all from HBCU. So check that out on Sunday. We're going to make sure that we pub that as much as we possibly can. So let's make sure we check that out. Also, if you haven't picked up the merch, I left the link inside of the chat. So go look at the merch and pick up your merch. Finally, on your way out, you are able to go ahead and click that like button. So don't forget to click that like button on your way out. I have nothing left, man. It's been a great show. I appreciate everybody for joining us. Man, we will see you guys next week.